Damn.
Goddamn is right. There he is, man. There he is. And how is everybody doing here today? How's everybody doing here today on this edition of the news, man? This is episode 259. So we are obviously here back yet again with another week of the news, man, as we are 1 week away from Dynasty predictions, and if my calculations serve me correctly, we are 2 weeks away from the 5-year anniversary of the Notorious podcast, man. It is April 8th,
Crazy.
and we will obviously be live April 11th. So, yeah, crazy stuff.
You know what then? Wait, April 8th. So hold on. It's a Tuesday. Okay. I was going to say, well, Monday would be the celebration. That means we probably won't have to talk about Dynamite on the Celebration Unscripted.
Yeah, we probably will bleed in. Can you turn yourself up just a smidge? I don't know why. I might have to turn myself up too. I don't know what is going on.
Turn up all the way on my mic. Let me look the mic settings.
Yeah, because I have you turned up all the way on my end, but it still shows a little bit low on... I don't know if it's this new OBS update or what is going on, but I don't know why this is such a nagging...
How about now?
Okay, yes, that... okay, say something one more time.
I'm saying something?
Okay, that sounds better. That sounds a lot better, actually.
So weird, man. Could be Discord too. They updated a bunch of shit recently, but like all my settings are the same.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Say something one more time.
I'm saying something?
Okay, that was weird because then you just sounded weird for like a split second. You sounded like you were coming through on like those old fucking like those 8 Mile headphones that Eminem was wearing on the bus.
Oh God.
But okay, now now you sound okay. Now you sound okay. I don't know what the deal was. Okay, well, first and foremost, now that we're on the topic of audio, I want to give a formal apology to all you listeners on YouTube, because for those of you that listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I did edit it out. So it probably is a little choppy, but you're not hearing me talk to myself and then like a minute or 2 minutes of silence followed. So I did chop it down to where it's just a long, like 10-minute speech from me about random stuff. Um, but I do apologize for that. I legitimately don't know what happened, because around like the 20-minute mark, you could just hear Sir K all of a sudden, because I'm obviously like doing clips for the show afterwards, and I'm like, why the fuck can't you hear him? I'm like, don't tell me this whole fucking episode he was just radio silent. And then at the 20-minute mark, he just, as soon as we start talking about Dynamite, it's like the world wants to hear your thoughts about Dynamite, but as soon as we start talking about Dynamite, you can just hear him all of a sudden. And I legit, I know OBS was just recently updated, so I don't know if something bugged out, but and then now again, okay,
Maybe it's a bug when doing like transitions and stuff. Maybe sometimes that might cause it to trip out.
maybe, dude, it must be, it's got to be something, but whatever it is weird and it's pissing me off. But so far I think we're good. So far I think we're good so far to date. Everything sounds okay, at least from my soundboard. So for you guys listening, let me know if there is anything odd about it, because I am failing to figure out what the problem is, because legitimately everything on my end looks okay, except for just sometimes the audio will just dip. I don't fucking know anymore, dude. But regardless, I do apologize for that. Like I said, the audio listeners definitely got the biggest piece of the pie, because the awkward silence is edited out. But there will be no awkward silence today. You guys probably thought I was a fucking Looney Tune, sitting here talking to myself for 20 minutes. But regardless, How's everybody doing? Thank you guys very much for joining us here today on episode 259 of the news. And we have an episode of news that you wouldn't expect. About 3 weeks out from WrestleMania, man. The news has been rather slow lately. Thank God for Mariah May, because
Oh, dude, if this news with Mariah May wasn't here, I don't know what would be the title. Maybe WrestleMania?
maybe that would probably be I mean, I guess that would probably be a good candidate, but man,
Oh,
yeah, talk about not feeling like WrestleMania season, man. I mean, it is rather slow.
mhm.
Now again, we do have about 3 or 4 more weeks till Mania itself, so I mean, I guess you can look forward to that, um but yeah, man, I mean, it is rather slow from what I'm traditionally used to, man. But regardless, how is everybody doing? Like I said, if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we're on here after Monday Night Raw with NHP Unscripted, and every Friday, we are on here with the news at 3 p.m. Central, man. This past if you guys did miss this past episode of Unscripted, that is oh, okay. That is the WrestleMania 41 build is lazy. That is episode 240 of Unscripted. You guys can now watch that on all platforms. Like I said, man, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every Monday after Monday Night Raw on YouTube, man. Also, if you guys are interested, man, and you guys do want to catch us after Monday Night Raw, this past Monday, this is the last week. This is the last week until August for the international shows. But here's your time slot for the 31st, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and 12 p.m. Pacific time. And as for us, as far as our schedule is concerned, your start time for Unscripted will be around 4:30 or 5 p.m. Central on Monday,
Mhm.
man. So this is going to be the last week. It's been fun. It's definitely been it's definitely thrown me off for sure, but it's been fun, but it is coming to an end, man. It is coming to an
It is.
end as I want to say I'm excited for Raw. I guess the proper
Yeah.
term is I'm excited for the crowd. I'm excited for the atmosphere. But I am, yeah, kind of fully expecting WWE to do what they've done for the past 2 weeks. So I'm excited for the show, just not the creative on the show. if if that
Yeah.
makes any
Uh,
sense.
I'm excited, like you said, that makes sense for the show, for the atmosphere, for the crowd, for the reactions, for Cody and Cena. And then there's just whatever Triple H decides to throw on the fucking run sheet, whatever that may be.
Who knows, man? He's probably going to give us another Ivy Nile versus Raquel Rodriguez match. So, um, yes. So if you guys did miss that, like I said, that's up on all platforms for you guys, man. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video where you can get this beautiful piece of NHP merchandise live today. Again, that is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man. So go cop the merch, bruh. Also, this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP. I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How are you, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just been chilling out, man. Been chilling out, been pretty normal, just waiting for these pay-per-view weekends, man. I mean, it doesn't feel like WrestleMania. Still excited for WrestleMania weekend. I'm excited for Dynasty. Um, Still excited for Dynasty weekend.
Same.
But overall, dude, I'm doing good, man.
Sure.
Just been chilling out, man. Come on. Yeah, just been chilling out, man. Just been chilling out. Everything's been normal, man. But like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing? and the live chat. How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
Man, I am doing good, bro. I am doing good. Yeah, doing all right. Just chilling, bro. Just chilling. Yeah, waiting for WrestleMania season to pick up. Waiting for Dynasty. Dynasty should be an interesting show. The Cirque Dynasty will be on April 6th as well.
I don't know about that one.
Just to keep an eye out for that, the Cirque Dynasty will be starting on the 6th, man. So get ready for that. Get hyped. I know I am, but yes.
Hopefully I am.
Uh, but other than that, I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good. As Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante? Logan, Bell, Hunter, how are you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining us as always. As how are you guys doing, man? Bell says the clocks have gone forward. The clocks have gone forward in London.
Oh shit.
Wow.
It's,
Damn.
We're literally down the road. The clocks changed. Damn. Oh
Oh
wow, they're
man.
down the road. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. So where? So I'm a. Oh, so you're by the. Oh, where's WWE? Oh, the O2? I think.
Okay.
Huh.
I'm assuming.
Nice. Nice. Hunter said. Hunter says maybe some stuff will happen on SmackDown tonight that's newsworthy. Bro, you and me are wishing both, bro, because
I'm calling you
holy
because
shit. That show is man, that is man, they got some balls coming on here every Friday, man. They got some fucking balls coming out there every Friday, dude, and putting on that. Especially from what they did last week. Man, everything just seems so lifeless, dude.
there's nothing going on television, and this is the build to WrestleMania, and there's just nothing happening.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think too. This week probably would have been either this week or next week would have been the week before WrestleMania if we're speaking traditionally off of, traditionally when they do it. It would have been this week or it would have been next week, um but man, it is quite the opposite, man. Quite the opposite this year, if I do say so myself, dude. It is yeah, just
Dude,
doesn't just feels like
nothing.
Cody and John Cena, and that's it.
It really doesn't feel like WrestleMania. Dude, literally, I was just thinking about this. The build for the first Saturday night's main event was like tenfold the build to WrestleMania, dude.
1,000%, and I 100% agree with Hunter here. He says we shouldn't have changed the Mania dates. Not gonna lie, they shouldn't
No.
have, because you're starting to see feuds from, and this is the problem. WWE did not move the Royal Rumble up. This could have worked if you did
Mm-hmm.
the Royal Rumble at the end or like early 20s of February.
Mm-hmm.
This could have worked, but especially, and I want to pinpoint the two Rumble feuds, it just feels like the most ridiculously long and drawn out feud with just nothing going on, man. It just feels like there's nothing going on. And like both of those feuds, Charlotte and Tiffany, and then Jay and Gunther, they just kind of feel dead. It just like it's,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm hoping, with the inclusion of Jimmy Uso, that can add, a bit of a oomph to the feud. But I mean, up until this point, man, it's just been very. And as far as Charlotte and Tiffany, man, I don't know there's any saving that one. People do not want to see Charlotte in these kind of
No.
matches, dude. It's just people. I think everybody's. I don't know if everybody's scared or if everybody's just in LOL Charlotte wins mode, or I don't. I'm kind of in LOL Charlotte wins mode, because I honestly just fully expect her to beat Tiffany, and then she's probably gonna put her over a couple months or a year down the line, and all will be well. But I just don't know. I really care to see that at this point.
No, I really don't. Charlotte might as well take a page out of Soraya's book and like, we don't really need you anymore. I mean, you don't really offer nothing value anymore. If I'm being honest.
I mean, it is. Man, I don't know. I don't know, man. It is. It is tricky. It is tricky because again, traditionally speaking, you have about 2 months build. But well, if you honestly
Hmm.
count the Elimination Chamber, you have 4 weeks. Maybe if WWE's feeling frisky, they'll give you a 5 week build to WrestleMania. But man, I mean this is. I mean, we'll be going on what 2 months and 3 weeks by the time we get to WrestleMania. So it might just be a bit too long with not good enough creative to withstand for the long build. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Again, maybe I mean I'm sure it's creative, but maybe the dates do have a little bit to do with it. But I honestly will have to say, man, I really do wish it was in the very beginning of April like it normally is. So um I don't know. I just think that works better coming out of the Royal Rumble. Or like I said, if you want to get it to work, you would have had to move the Royal Rumble up to like mid mid uh mid or early or sorry late or early 20s February, and then have the
Hmm.
Elimination Chamber sit somewhere about 4 to 5 weeks before WrestleMania in the middle of March or something like that to make this work. But yeah, I don't know, man. It is a odd year. It seems like everything, I don't know, everything and everyone just got put on the back burner for some reason, and I don't fucking know why.
No, I really don't understand why literally everything's on the fucking slow burn while you're building towards WrestleMania, dude. I don't get it.
So yeah, but oh wow, 15 to 20 minutes away from the O2. Okay, so we're about what, maybe 30, 35, maybe with traffic 40 away from the United Center. So
Hmm.
pretty
Nice.
pretty pretty close, man. But yeah, that's always cool. That's always cool. It's nice to it's it, that was the I love the drive. When AEW usually does Hoffman Estates, I do love the drive, but I also just love like the conveniency of living by like the United Center
Oh
or
yeah.
like Wintrust Arena. Um, those are always nice. Allstate's a bit annoying because
Yeah.
taking 294 to Allstate, or to Rosemont is a fucking mess, dude.
Hmm.
That is a clusterfuck of a highway at about 3 or 4 o'clock, which is usually around the time we leave, because usually doors don't open until 5. So usually we leave about 3:30 ish, maybe 4 ish, 3:45, and that expressway, dude, is so bad. I mean, there's always construction mixed with dumb
Oh
fucks.
yeah.
I mean, it is horrible,
Galore.
dude. Um, but uh, but yeah, man. So, anyways, man. On to the news. We're actually gonna start you guys off with what you see in the thumbnail, man, and that is Mrs. Mariah May.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, this comes as an absolute shock. I did not expect. I thought, she was just taking time off of TV because of the Hollywood ending. I thought that's what it was, but when this came out, it obviously got me speculating, because I'm like, okay, well, obviously it would make sense for her to still be off of TV, but like, are they gonna bring her back? Like what? So, anyways,
Hmm.
so per a report from Fightful Select, Mariah May is believed to be in a contract year with AEW, with several inside the company inferring that May's deal is indeed set to expire in the summer. It is not known if May's contract has option years attached to it, although it has been claimed that it would be shocking if it didn't, due to the nature of May's push since she arrived in the company, despite being on such a short deal. The Glamour signed with AEW in November of 23, after months of rumors linking Mariah May with a move to the promotion. Since her debut, she was strongly pushed, first winning the Owen Foundation Cup in summer of 24, and then also turning on her kayfabe mentor, Toni Storm. Mariah May would go on to defeat Toni Storm at All In Wembley of 24. May's program with Storm had just come to an end at the Hollywood ending at the recent Revolution pay-per-view. This comes only weeks after she dropped the belt back at Grand Slam Australia. Whoa. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and ask you,
Yeah.
how much did this shock you? Because this shocked the shit out of me, to be honest. Like,
Well,
when I heard her contract was coming, it was soon to expire, I was damn near floored. So,
mhm.
what was going through your head when you first found this out?
I was really shocked, man. I did not think it'd be up that fast. I didn't, usually your usual is 3 or 5 years, anywhere from that, and it hasn't. So I was like, When I first heard contract year, I assumed like, oh, like maybe like later in the year, late in the year, early next year. In all reality, from the reports, it seems like it's in the summer, and that did shock the hell out of me, man. Did not expect that at all, and very shocking, and very shocking that Tony Khan would go with a contract like that, and I really was shocked, man. But where do you think where do you think the decision might go for her, for where to go or where to stay?
Well, I can tell you, if she does have options, if she is looking to leave, I don't think she's going to be very happy. If it's a company option, if it's her option, if it's her option, then obviously she could do whatever she wants. But if it is a company option, she should definitely be prepared to be held hostage. But
Oh yeah,
regardless, dude, this is man, this is it is a thing of like, I can see Tony, or not Tony. I can see Mariah wanting to stay because they've done good with her, but at the same time I can also see her wanting to leave because they also didn't do good with her in like the in between of the Tony Storm feud. Like right at like I could very well see her thinking like she will get lost in the shuffle, and she is going to get lost in the
hmm
shuffle because she sort of got lost in the shuffle when she was AEW Women's World Champion, and that's what I'm getting at. It's like they did treat her good. They treated her great when she was involved with Tony Storm. But when Tony Storm wasn't there, a lot of us, complained about it because we want to see more from Mariah May because she's fucking fantastic. And they basically
didn't
basically
do anything.
yeah, they had her do nothing, and she came out a couple times for a couple random title defenses, and then when Tony came back, then her push started up again. So I can also see that being a factor in her maybe wanting to leave because like who you want to feel pushed and you want to feel important, but you don't want the only reason for that is when you're only working with one person. And from what the
Exactly.
history has showed us, when she wasn't working with that one person, it was a bit of a rough time in AEW
hmm
for Mariah May. And it was, her women's world championship reign was very bad. You take Tony Storm. If you take Tony Storm out of Mariah May's AEW career, that run is ridiculously underwhelming. And she is ridiculously underutilized if you take Tony Storm out of that run. So this is really 50-50, man. I mean, because again, when Mariah is involved in what a lot of people consider one of AEW's best feuds of all time, probably their best women's feud of all time in Tony Storm and Mariah May. And I could see that being a thing where she would want to stay, but then again, whenever Tony wasn't there, she was. I mean, the creative, the fucking creative Indiana Jones ball fucking squashed her. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It is tricky, man. And this one is definitely a 50-50 for me. I could see her doing either thing. I think it would be very funny if she just had a great run and told a great story in AEW with Tony Storm, and then she just leaves for WWE. I think that would be very funny. I think she obviously she would be a great fit in WWE. I think WWE would do wonders for her. But yeah, I mean, this one is really 50-50 for me, man. I could honestly see this one going either way, to be honest, bro. It all depends on what she's feeling, which obviously we don't know, but it's interesting, man. And I'll tell you, this was shocking because for Tony Khan to not at least lock her down for 3 or 5 years was shocking to me. And the fact that she had such a short deal and he put the title on her is probably even more shocking to me, because I mean, again, look at what he did with the Outrunners. The Outrunners aren't locked down to long-term deals, and neither is Mariah May. I mean, what would that be, a year and a half she was in the company? So look at the Outrunners. They were supposed to squash the Young Bucks, take the tag titles, but Tony didn't want to do it because they're not locked down to long-term deals, and he doesn't want them to, up and skeet on them. So it's just the whole scenario to me is just shocking. How she was pushed, put in a great story, put the title on her, and she was on that short term of a deal. That is very unlike Tony Khan, man. But Tony Khan is one to not know what's going on in his fucking company half the time. So he probably didn't even know Mariah May's contract was up. They probably told him around Grand Slam, "Hey, Mariah's up this summer, right?" What? What?
What?
We gotta we gotta take the title off her. We cannot wait till Hollywood ending. We gotta take the title off her right now. She's gonna fucking leave and go to WWE.
That I actually wouldn't be shocked for if that was a course of action that actually happened with all this, man. And it's interesting to see where she might go and where she might stay. Like you said, I think it's very 50-50. I could easily see both. I could see her recognizing that good old TK can be very spacey with the people he employs and the people he remembers to use and who he doesn't. And that her title run was a fucking perfect example of that. Second Tony Storm was gone. He totally forgot about Mariah May and the care and the character work and all that one and all that. Um, and then Tony came back and Tony cared about her again. So it's such a weird thing with Tony Khan, and she did have a really good run overall. And I hope that Tony Khan sees her as more than just this feud with Tony Storm. And if he does, then I could definitely see her re-signing. But if not, I could maybe see her taking her momentum and going somewhere else with it, man. I think she could definitely do very well in WWE. She obviously can do character work, tell a story. That's really what they're all about, man. So I feel like they could definitely benefit from a woman like Mariah May. I'd rather see her tenfold than Charlotte. I'll tell you that. So it's really 50-50. I think it's all based on Mariah May's mentality and Tony Khan's mentality of using her. And if it is to, what it was with her title run itself, I would maybe think she might, take her momentum and go elsewhere. But if not, she very well may stay and get used regularly, man. But there is Tony Storm's champ. There, I guess Tony Khan using Megan Bayne. Mercedes is still there. Athena's probably coming to the AEW side of the whole ROH to AEW thing soon. Not a lot of spots are there to have big stories and big runs. So could be that factor too. It's very interesting, man. I think it's very 50-50.
Yeah, and you mentioned, it's about Mariah's mentality, and that's absolutely true, man, because you see a lot of people in AEW, you know, they take the money. You know what I mean? And Tony's obviously willing to shill it out, and Tony is absolutely gonna outbid WWE on anybody on the planet. He's gonna. It doesn't matter who it is. If Tony Khan and Triple H both wanted fucking Kalisto back, and they were going for a bidding war. Tony Khan is absolutely, if he wants the person bad enough, he's going to outbid. And
Mm-hmm.
is WWE will kind of slam the door in your face if it's too much. They will just say no because it's too much. Tony Khan is not like that. Tony Khan will give you
No, I'll just give it to you.
he literally will give you whatever you want. Um, but
Well,
oh
finally.
yeah, um, but like you were saying about the mentality is you do see a lot of people that are hopeful of AEW,
Mm-hmm.
and then they end up kind of looking silly in the end because a lot of
Yeah,
fans and a lot of people that cover wrestling, talk about wrestling or whatever, we can all see it coming. You know what I mean? A prime example I want to use is Daniel Garcia. If you look at him, and that man genuinely believed that Tony Khan was going to somewhat build the company around him, and we were all sitting here like, dude, no, he's not. He'll probably put a title on you to make you happy, and then nothing will ever happen. And then what ended up happening, and he's never used, or he's used on Collision in a piss poor manner that absolutely nobody on God's green earth is excited about. You know what I mean? This guy's had matches with Adam Cole and nobody gives a fuck. I mean that's the state we're in, man. But again, some of these people believe, like they want to believe in AEW, and if that's the place they love, you can't blame them for having a soft spot for the company, but at the same time, man, it's just sometimes you got to open your eyes to the harsh reality.
You need
But I
tough
get
love.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I get not everybody, not everybody takes to harsh realities, because people want to
Well,
believe,
they're
or they want to
hey,
be hopeful in it or whatever. But again, if you look at a case like Daniel Garcia's, is you can clearly tell he had the right intentions. He wants to be a
oh
company
yeah,
guy. He wants to he wants the company to be built around him. But at the end of the day, man, it's just Tony, you're not that important to Tony. The only reason you were important to Tony is because he's keeping you away from NXT. So,
exactly.
and I would hate to see the same thing happen with Mariah May. Is she stays and she thinks she's going to be a major star in the division, and hopefully she is. But again, there's always the Daniel Garcia possibility of you sign, you think you're going to be you think you're going to be a cornerstone of the brand, you think you're going to be a regular to the fan base, a fan favorite, and they end up never using you to save anybody's life, man. I mean, it's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous the amount of people that the amount of people that have just re-signed with AEW with the right intentions, or went to AEW with the right intentions, and they just they get treated like shit, and they get lost in the shuffle, and they lose all of their aura, and they lose all of their momentum, and everything is just gone. And obviously, I mean, that's not the case for everybody. Some people have made it through the glass ceiling, but for a lot of people do get stuck under it, man. I mean, it's just how it
Mm-hmm.
is, because Tony pushes who he wants,
When he
and
feels like it.
the other people, they just do
Hey, wait.
nothing. Yes, and they sit there and wait and wait and wait, and half the time nothing ever comes from it. So, yeah.
Almost definitely.
So it all depends what mindset she's in, man. It all depends what mindset she's in. But honestly, dude, if I
It's
man,
interesting.
if I'm Mariah May, if I was in her shoes, obviously I'm sure this is gonna come to the shock of absolutely nobody because we are AEW haters. Um,
Oh yeah.
I'm probably taking my ball and going home because you told a great story. You were pushed. You will have a lot of fanfare coming into the company now as other than if you wait another 3
Hmm.
years and your career's dead in the water. Or I mean, not saying that that will happen, but you're running the risk of it happening. um your career's dead in the water, and then you go to WWE. Or you could, again, tell a great story. You just were the women's champion a couple months ago, and you take your ball and you go to NXT, or you want to go to the main roster and build yourself up from there and have a goated run in AEW, and then go on to have a goated run in WWE. So it honestly, man, if I was her, I would probably go to WWE, because if she stays in AEW, Tony is Tony and her are done. If she's going to
Hmm.
go for anything else, do you really want her to walk down the path of Mercedes Moné? And then what's going to happen? She's going to lose and then
Hmm.
go fight who? Thunder Rosa on Collision? Is she going to go fight fucking is she going to go fight Queen Aminata on Shockwave? I mean, what is she going to do, man? I mean, what
I don't think anybody's gonna be fighting on that.
No, just Tony Khan and his wallet and his
The
dreams.
dreams.
Yeah.
Hmm.
um but honestly, dude, if I'm her, if I was in her position, now again, obviously I don't know all the specifics to it, but if I was her, just speaking from a career and creative standpoint, not speaking on, like, the money or whatever, because we all know,
Where the
we all
money
know.
goes.
Yes, we all know, if you're looking for money, we all know where you're going to go. You're going to stay right where you are in AEW. But from a career standpoint and from a creative standpoint, I'm going to WWE if I'm her.
Overall, I think that is the safer bet. It all depends on Tony Khan's mentality. If he actually values the shit out of her, I think she could stay, and I think she'd be fine. It's all about how he values her, and I think he likes her. But Tony Khan, just because Tony Khan likes somebody, that's not enough. Tony Khan has to be a fan of
Yes,
yours. We say it all the time. He has to be a fan of yours. And if he's not a fan of Mariah Mays, I would say go to WWE. If he is, then she can stay in AEW, and she could get, that Swerve Hangman level of consistency, which you would want in AEW. But how many people get those? So the safer bet, I would say, would be WWE to go.
definitely. Definitely. Obviously, I know Sean would love her. I know Triple H would love her wherever she would go. Um, but it's very interesting with Mariah May, man. It is very interesting because she did have a good run in AEW overall. So, it's definitely going to be a tricky decision, I would assume, for her when the time does come. Um, so yeah, Mariah May seems to be up in 2025. Oh, I also forgot to mention too. You talked about, Tony Khan liking somebody versus being a fan of somebody. Tony Khan Tony Khan has went out on multiple occasions saying Daniel Garcia is the future, and Daniel Garcia is the hottest young star in wrestling today. Okay, well, if he's the hottest young star in
Where is
wrestling
he?
today, you're hiding him on Collision. I don't think I don't think that's what you do to the hottest young star in the business today, man. That would be like WWE calling up Braun Breaker to main event. and then
Yeah.
proclaiming that he's the hottest young star. He's not on Raw or SmackDown. He just got called up. He's not on Raw or SmackDown, but he's on Main Event, and he is the hottest young talent today. I mean, come on, dude.
I was young
But
talent they fucking have at this point is Bobby Lashley. He's the most over.
yeah, seriously, seriously, dude. But they and two, look at a guy like Sammy Guevara. You know, Sammy Guevara
Mm-hmm.
and Tony Khan, to our knowledge, I thought were pretty good
Close
friends.
friends.
They were pretty good friends, man, and he does nothing with him, dude. I mean that career is man. I mean that is gone. That is gone and away, bro. That career is gone and away. But
Yeah.
yeah,
The OBS is so weird. Usually got so much louder for no reason. Just talking normally, dude.
really, am I
Yeah,
okay now?
at least on my end. Oh, I just had to turn you down in my headset. I don't know if it's the show end, but for me, in my end, I just had to turn you down a little bit. But I don't even know what it is at this point, dude. I think
Uh
OBS is flipping out
it has to be, dude, because
because now you're normal.
all right. Okay.
Oh, if I could understand, dude. But yeah, man, Tony's the Guevara's career situation is that's a very unfortunate one, man. It's just mostly it is his doing at the end of the day, but man, that he had all the keys, man, and he fucking dropped them. Damn, you hate
Yeah.
to see it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah, once upon a time, like Inner Circle, like when the Inner Circle was actually cool, a lot of people were looking at Sammy Guevara like, man, this dude could be
Mm.
next up, bro. Like this dude is
I
dope as
remember
fuck.
when the inner circle was getting stale, everyone was like, dude, I hope Guevara can just go on his own and do
Yeah.
his own thing and
Yep.
win a singles title or something, and then, I mean, he did do that, but like, didn't end up working out too well.
No, no, not at all. Not at all, bro. It is, man, but it's gonna be interesting to see with Mariah May, and obviously we're gonna keep an eye on it, man. But honestly, dude, if I was her, that's what I would do. If
Hmm.
I was in her shoes, just looking at a creative standpoint. But now to talk about Mariah's buddy, Mina Shirakawa.
Mm.
Mina Shirakawa has officially announced in a press conference that she will be leaving World Wonder Ring Stardom on March 31st and will be signing with All Elite Wrestling. When exactly Shirakawa will make her debut to AEW is unknown. Reports in recent hours had noted that Shirakawa will be leaving Stardom and joining All Elite Wrestling. The popular talent debuted for Stardom in 2020, and she ended up, and she will end up, or she will end her run with the promotion as a two-time Artist of Stardom champion, one-time Wonder of Stardom champion, and one-time Future of Stardom champion, and one-time Goddess of Stardom champion. Is everything just of Stardom champion? Okay, and a one-time Goddess of Stardom champion with Mariah May.
We get it. It's a Stardom, dude. Just say Stardom Women's World Title, bro. God damn.
um,
Okay.
well, it looks like Tony Khan got the newest patch update in
Mm-hmm.
the Japan DLC pack. We got another one that is doesn't, at least from this report, it does not look like she's trying free agency. She's
Going
gonna
straight.
go ahead and put herself as a member of the Tony Khan Japan DLC pack. So
Exactly. She's downloading right now. The pre-download before you could play the game. She's doing that right now. She pre-ordered it, so she gets it a couple days early, man. But yeah, this is good. I like Mina. She's got personality and whatnot. And again, Tony Khan likes her. Um, and I could see him using her pretty regularly. His fans, love Mina, and I think he likes her. So I think she'll be used pretty regularly, which I'll be okay with. I just, like I asked for everybody, hope they can, tell stories with her, man, and she's capable of it. You know, she was in very intertwined in a bunch of elements of, the whole Mariah May and Tony Storm thing. So she obviously can. I just, hope they will, man. So I like Mina. I'm glad she's coming over. I just hope, Tony Khan, and let's at this point just let RJ City just run the women's division and create these stories, because then I would trust it no problem.
Yeah, I think that would. Yeah, I mean he that would probably be great for AEW's women's division because Lord knows Tony Khan has no idea what he's doing. Um, but yes, looks like Mina will be headed over to AEW, and I hope she will be used. I honestly. I honestly am obviously. I mean, this kind of goes for everybody, though. I'm just scared. Excuse me. I am scared that past her first initial feud in AEW, she will kind of just be a random match person.
I could s- I could see her being the female Orange Cassidy role of just a constant dynamite match, at least once every 2 weeks person. I could see her taking the women's Orange Cassidy role.
I certainly hope not. I would not wish that role upon anybody. The overexposure role, but hopefully not. But we will see. But this doesn't like Bell says. Yeah, this one honestly doesn't shock me much at all. Yeah, I fully expected Mina to eventually sign with AEW, being that she's worked there before and whatnot, but with Mina coming over, this also could mean a good thing for them retaining Mariah May. So,
Mm-hmm.
and speaking of another woman on the AEW roster, Saraya has announced her departure from AEW. She says on Rule Breakers with Saraya, Entertainment Weekly.
That's a fucking podcast name.
Yeah. She says Um, she announced her departure from AEW. She says, I'm here to tell you that me and AEW's relationship is coming to an end. I had an amazing time there. There's no bad blood between us. I had such a magical time. It's just me thinking that I just don't fit in right now. I feel like I might be taking someone else's spot, someone who could be doing something really special. And then there was a report today that came out from Uncle Dave in the Uncle Dave Chronicles, and he says Saraya's AEW contract was reportedly originally set to expire in the fall of this year, but it is believed that she asked to be let go early.
Mm. And he did it.
He
Look at
actually did
that.
it. Wow. What do you think about this, man? And where do you imagine Saraya ending up through all of this?
I respect Soraya for doing this, man. I think she recognizes there's not much for her to do in AEW. I mean, she's already won the women's world title, and it's not like she's gonna, go beat Mercedes or something like that. You know what I mean? I think I'm glad that we, have someone in the business that's an older talent that recognizes, hey, I'm not doing that much, and I think there's people that, could take the spot more. So I'm gonna just head out, man. I like that. I respect that. And at the end of the day, there is like the rust aspect of Soraya nowadays, and I think she can recognize that. Um, and I just respect her for just saying I don't think they need me, and I'm just gonna dip out. I can respect that, man, and I'm glad she came to that decision, and I'm glad Tony Khan also decided, what, I will let you go early, man. Look at that. Look what happens when you just let someone go with no problems. No problems. No burnt bridge. Everything's civil. It's just, oh, gone. Handshake. Enjoy your time. No bad press. None of it. Everyone's happy. Look at that. That's all you had to do this whole fucking time, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Good lord. But I'm glad. I'm glad how this happened with both parties, man. And as for where Soraya goes, I could see her making an appearance or two in WWE, but I feel like her mentality with AEW can be very much the same in just in general with wrestling. At the end of the day, like I said, there is, rust, the ring rust aspect, and I think it hit her pretty heavy. And I think she can recognize that, man. And again, it's no like insult, it's just how it is, man. Sometimes just you take that much time off and it affects you, man. But I like Soraya. I could definitely would like to see her, make an appearance or two in WWE. There's some interactions I would like to see. I would love to hear that OG theme song again. Um, but either way, man, I'm just glad this is just a nice, happy little. This could easily been, a thumbnail title of all this drama and her wanting to leave, and it ends up being the fall, and it's none of that. It's a nice, simple little event, man, and I'm very happy the way this turned out, man. But I could definitely see her making a little appearance or two in WWE. I don't see her doing a whole lot over there. But overall, I think it's a good decision nonetheless. I do think she'll make a little appearance or two, man. But what about you? Where do you think she goes? And what do you think of all this?
Um, yeah, I mean, this is a case of Soraya wanting to leave. They
Hmm.
let her leave, and things were good. Things were good, man, because like you said, this easily could have been a thing where she wanted to leave, but Tony's not letting her leave until the fall, until her contract's up. But oh, he's gonna add some time for this and some time for that, and some time because she fucking took too long in the dressing room, or whatever else shit he's adding time for. This could have easily been a situation like that, but it wasn't, and he let her go, and this is easy. This is all you had to do with everybody. So it's a good thing. It is a good thing, man. I mean, I guess her mentality behind leaving AEW was in the right place. She just wanted to she didn't want to take a spot. She didn't want to take a spot from anybody, man. She just simply felt that she didn't really have anything to do. And we just talked about harsh realities. That is a harsh reality, is the fact that her running AEW, the ring rust, I don't think ever wear off. And she didn't really have much to give. She didn't really have much to give, man. She doesn't really have, much to offer in the ring. They didn't really let her tell too many stories. So it was just bad. It was bad, man. I mean, the Outcasts were like the OG Death Riders. Okay, they were like they were
They
awful
were.
television. They were awful television before the Death Riders were a thing. So I mean, I'm glad that she got what she want though, and I'm glad to hear her so honest with herself, because again, a lot of people refuse that AEW is you know anything but good for them. And again, and that goes for both companies, but a lot of times with AEW, some of the talent can be a little delusional on their spots. And I love them to death, but I absolutely cannot stand to listen to Jericho talk about the
Yeah.
trajectory of his career at this point. Just the uh, he's done great. AEW is not around without Jericho, but the way
Yeah.
he talks about his his career today, well, everyone that works with me becomes a star, or whatever the fuck he was saying. Everybody that works with me is elevated, or whatever. And uh
Back to Guevara, we were all hoping at the time that Guevara would leave the circle of Jericho to fucking
yeah.
move on to better pastures.
Yeah, because Jericho is nice for you know giving a talent that initial push, man. But when somebody needs to go, when somebody when the dog needs to be let out, he wants to run. Okay, and you gotta let him run. You gotta let him run, bro. But they didn't do that with Sammy. They kept him on the leash. So, and
Hmm.
obviously we all know where that went. But um, oh, it looks like Chelsea's
I'm seeing that now.
Chelsea's the secret
Mm-hmm.
Hervis.
There you go. Why not? I guess.
Well, it looks like the secret Hervis is the name of Chelsea Green's group. So there you have it. So yes, that is the news on Saraya and her departure from AEW. Speaking of somebody's departure from AEW that didn't go all that great, Rey Fenix. According to Fightful Espanol, Rey Fenix is not expected to speak heavily on his falling out at AEW, same as Penta. The two were in contact with WWE last year, leading to their relationships with AEW souring. I don't think that's the only reason. And see, this is typical. Fightful. They love to come to the defense of AEW. That is not the reason. Look, when AEW does something sensible, I get it, okay? I sat here and said I understood why Tony Khan would ghost Shane after we knew what we knew about what happened and stuff. But I'm sorry, in this case, dude, that is not the reason that relationship went sour.
No.
Those guys, I highly doubt they were in contact with WWE. I think they were in contact with their friends, and I think they were planning on going to WWE. And from what we know, they didn't tell Tony Khan. Tony Khan got pissed about it, put both of them on lock. So I don't know about all that. And they didn't. Again, that I highly doubt that is the reason that their relationship went sour. I think they were planning on going to WWE, and that's what made the relationship sour. On top of all the other things that happened with Rey Fenix and his unattended injuries. And it sucks that Rey Fenix is not expected to speak heavily on this because in order for him to get his release, there was that non-disparagement agreement. There was.
There was, man. I don't have a doubt in my mind there was a non-disparagement agreement, and there's going to be no talking ill of anything because that's how you leave AEW. You want to leave, say you loved us, and you say you loved working here, and we'll let you go, man. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. And I'm not surprised in the slightest that he's not going to be talking negative, talk about the real stories. We'll wait in 10 years for the AEW Dark Side of the Ring fucking season, and that's going to be it, man. But I definitely didn't see that happening anyway, and we all know that in order to leave AEW, it's NDA City, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, speaking of another person in AEW that may have a bit of a rocky relationship with the company right now, Britt Baker. It is being noted that Britt Baker has removed AEW from her Instagram bio. This comes after Saraya's sudden departure.
Mm.
Wow. Well, I'll ask you first. Do you think Britt is done? What do you suspect is going on here?
Oh man, I would think so. To be honest, I mean, there, Britt is such a crazy case in AEW, man, because she was Queen Bee for a while in in the division and in the back especially, and she was always she was always friends with Tony Khan. As like obviously that's how she got away with all the shit she did. Um, and it's such a crazy case that now she looks to be soured with the company and kind of trying to leave, and I think that's what she is doing, and that's crazy. It's always a crazy case when you get one of those, and I definitely think she might be, um, looking out the door to leave. I don't know if it's gonna happen now or soon. I don't know if Tony Khan is gonna let her go early, or this could be another fight. Tony Khan will try to might put up a fight with letting her go early. It might be another Phoenix situation, or he might just want to end this all and just let her go if that's what she wants. It's a very interesting case with Britt Baker because it used to be such the opposite. Um, but overall, I do think she will be making her way out of the company, and I do see her eventually making her way in to WWE, man. But I think it's gonna be a slower and quieter process than a lot of these others. And I mean, you do never know. It could just drop one of these days. It could drop at fucking 8 o'clock on a Friday after news that she's gone from the company. I wouldn't doubt it. But I feel like this is going to be a slower and quieter, departure. But I think it is going to be a departure when the time comes, man. But what about you?
Yeah, I honestly, I think it's I think it for with Brit, I think it's a thing where she is, obviously contractually she's still with the company, but I honestly think it's a thing where she's trying to tell the company
Mm-hmm.
without telling the company, like, I'm done, like, I don't really have an interest in coming back here. I don't have an interest in working here anymore. I don't really care for any of this anymore. So I honestly think, oh yeah, I'm seeing it now. It's the same thing as Belle. That Belle is saying. She says, mentally, I think she might be done. Contractually, it's the opposite. That's kind of what
Yeah.
I was thinking too, man. That's what I was thinking. Like I said, I feel it was taken out of her Instagram bio to tell the company and to tell the fans, like, hey, I'm done. I'm done here. I want to go do whatever the fuck else. But obviously, she is still with the company, because I would assume if she wasn't, that would be a excuse me, that would obviously be a huge talking point. But yeah, it looks like she's still with the company for now, but she has taken AEW out of her Instagram bio, man. So should be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Speaking of another guy who is probably wishing he took the AEW name out of his Instagram bio, Ryan Nemeth. We have an
Just
update
did
on the Ryan Nemeth case.
Door Chronicles.
Ryan Nemeth was speaking on the Rai Rai Nem Nem Substack. All
Yeah,
right.
good lord, no wonder he's fucking
Uh,
okay.
um, Ryan Nemeth revealed AEW offered him a contract instead of pursuing legal action. He recounts being served within a lawsuit. He says, "I was on the receiving end of some pretty insane abuse from my former employer. I did all the things you're supposed to do. I communicated. I spoke to HR. I spoke to legal.
I
I
sneaked this
made
on Twitter.
I I made some stupid tweets I shouldn't have made. I spoke to my bosses. I kept records. I have witnesses. I was even offered a settlement." Geez, he sounds like the fucking kid who would remind the teacher that we have a test on Friday.
Yeah, he sounds like a fucking nightmare to be around.
Mrs. Flood. Remember, we were supposed to have that test tomorrow, and then the
Yeah,
whole class
remember how?
goes, "What the fuck?
Oh,
What the fuck?"
literally, dude. Hey, you're supposed to. The homework was due today, right? Oh yeah, it was due today. Everyone passed your. Yeah, it's
Shut
just.
up.
Hmm.
Like,
Yep, he was definitely one of them damn kids. One of those kids where he was the annoying younger brother, and I'm sure his older brother was always, like, God damn it, dude, you're making me look bad.
hey, remember you said we weren't allowed recess today? Motherfucker.
They forget. They'll be in the middle of a life story and they get them to go back on the lesson, and it's like, dude, this is the best thing when teachers are telling some life story for the rest of the class. God damn it.
Yeah, so shout out Miss Flood. It's my
Really, shout out.
fourth grade teacher. So
Look at that. Hell yeah.
um, um, so he says, then instead of those terms being honored, I was in a very bizarre pseudo U-turn of events. I was offered a new contract with AEW in place of pursuing legal action. For those wondering, I said no thanks. Oddly enough, I was also told the lawyer who offered me the original settlement had no authority to do so. That sounds like a serious organizational dysfunction, but who am I to say? End quote. Well,
Oh man.
Ryan, you're probably right about the last part. I'm sure there is a lot of organizational dysfunction in AEW,
Oh
man.
yeah.
I don't know, dude. The reading the updates on this case. I mean, this is like the third or fourth week in a row we've been keeping up with this Ryan Nemeth and AEW case, and it is just, I don't know, man. It's like it's the. This is not nothing new in the wrestling business, man. You get heat, you don't get pushed. It's kind of what it is, you know. Okay, I'll put it this way. So, okay, let me think here. Okay, so Vladimir Kozlov, he is upset with Double E, and he goes out and he, you know, tweets some shit about the Undertaker. Oh, this fucking guy, he got you know, he was coming out for his entrance, you know, pyro burned him, you know, he's fucking soft. He's a baby, right? He's rubbing water on himself in the shell, or in the not the shell, the pod. He's in the pod. He's pouring water on himself. He just burned himself. How soft is the Undertaker? What do you think is gonna happen if you make a dumbass tweet like that? So shout out Vladimir Kozlov because he didn't make that tweet, but you make a dumb tweet like that, tweeting at the company's top star, a guy that has influence in the company, and you can't even say, well, it's because Tony Khan's a mark for. No, this happens in every fucking company, dude. The guys that are top stars, they have pull. If you're Matt Riddle and you're making all these tweets about Seth Rollins and about Becky Lynch and about, you know, or whatever, your wife is making some crazy comments or whatever the case, whatever that case was, if Seth say he don't want to work with you, guess what? He's one of the top stars in the company. And eventually they did work together after they hashed everything out. But at the time, you think there was a chance those guys were going to work together? No, it's because the top guys have more say. If they put Roman Reigns in the ring against, you know, if they went to Roman Reigns and said, "Hey, we're going to do a program between you and Apollo Crews." If Roman Reigns says he don't want to work with it, I don't want to do that. What do you think? What do you think they're going to tell Roman Reigns? I mean, it's the lay of the land. I mean, it's not. I mean, sure you can say it's abuse, but I mean, bro, this is the way of the wrestling business, bro. I mean, it's
the way of like any business, dude. You look at Hollywood. If Tom Cruise don't want you in his movie, are you gonna be in a Tom Cruise movie? No. It's just how it works.
You could even look at, you know, you could even look at, again, like any normal retail job. You piss your boss off, you're probably not going to get promoted. You're probably not going to get that raise. You're probably, you know, they're not going to fuck with you. I mean, I mean, in that case, I mean, it's a little bit fucking different because we're not really talking salary wages or anything like that. But again, if you're speaking on just the wrestling business, bro, you place and this is what I've said with Ryan Nemeth from the moment this case started. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Okay, again, you can't go out there and make a fucking tweet. Oh, we just talked last week about the John Cena promo being originally slated
I
for
was just
15
gonna say
minutes.
that.
Do you honestly fucking think? Do you honestly think if Angel Garza made a tweet and said this fucking John Cena guy, he's taking forever, dude. He's eating up all the fucking TV time. Do you think they're gonna push him? No.
Dude,
Look at what
dude,
happened to
he
Corey
made
Graves.
exactly, dude. He made one where he made a reference to not being oh so happy, with his treatment in his position, and he got fucking punished. And now he's recovering probably because he apologized and said he'll never do it again. But we were literally, like you said with the Johnson, we were making the joke. Oh, who would actually go in the back and say Cena took too much time? That's career suicide, bro. The, that's that's how the business works, dude. You can't get mad and sue over normal business culture, dude. At the end of the day, it's how anything goes ever. Management not isn't a fan of you. The management has friends that aren't a fan of you. Probably not going to get used that much, man. And
Eh,
instead of turning that into momentum for yourself, is what you can do in that type of situation. He cried like a baby to the courts, and no one respects him.
and the craziest thing about all this too is they like, and obviously we didn't know this when Punk was there. A lot of us, including myself and you and Bell and literally everybody else, all of us were under the assumption that Punk was the problem. But dude, if again, if you had this, close to jobber coming at you, again, coming at you, claiming abuse and all this different kind of stuff after, he talks shit about, or after you talk shit about him first, and Punk crashes out, or after Nemeth talks shit about Punk first,
Oh,
and you crash
hmm
out, people say you're the bad guy. Like, again, going back to Undertaker, I don't want to use John Cena because I honestly, I don't imagine John Cena crashing out. He's
yeah,
just like the professional god. That man is like the king of professionalism. But again, you look at a guy like the Undertaker. If you had, he's obviously been a locker room leader for a long time. If you have these guys constantly back there disrespecting you and is just again just poking the fucking bear, you don't think eventually Undertaker would fucking stand up and say, "Dude, what the fuck is going on in this fucking place?" and start cursing people out? Because it's like,
yeah.
what?
Hey, what are you even doing here? You know what I mean? If I was Taker, I'd be like, who the fuck are you? What do you value? What value do you bring this that I don't? Who do you think they're gonna choose? That's just how it works, man. That's how the business works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Again, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You made shoot tweets at the company's biggest star, trying to start a fucking beef with him, or legitimately trying to poke the fucking bear, and he's the company's biggest star. I mean, why on God's green would you ever think that would be okay to do for your career? Let me make a tweet about the company's biggest star, and it'll just be water under the bridge. And
It is
then
what it is.
and then you get
No,
mad when he comes back at you. So who's really the softest man alive? I mean, come on. If you can't handle the heat, then get the fuck out of the kitchen. If you want to make a tweet but you don't want to deal with the repercussions of your tweet, then then don't make the tweet.
that simple, man. It's that simple.
This case is hilarious, and it's been absolutely one of my favorite things to cover over the course of however long we've been covering it. Because every time a new story comes out, I'm like, is this guy fucking serious, dude? I mean,
He
what
just gets sadder and sadder.
Good God. Okay. So, speaking of sad, Warner Brothers Discovery. Um,
Damn.
Uh, Warner Bros. Discovery is allegedly unbothered by AEW online chatter. Speaking on Beyond the Bell, Andrew Zarian of Fightful.com. Oh, he's with Fightful now? That's crazy.
Oh.
Revealed that the Warner Bros. Discovery executives are not fazed by internet criticism surrounding AEW's weekly viewership trends. He says, I've been hearing very positive stuff from Warner Bros. Discovery. Zarian said, I brought up the ratings and the internet chatter to them, and they don't care. It doesn't even resonate. The message on the internet is not enough, or the message on the internet is not even resonating with these people that are in key positions. Despite fluctuating weekly numbers, especially during the tough competition nights, Warner Bros. Discovery seems more focused on long-term value than weekly noise. The company is reportedly happy with AEW's performance and is now looking at the bigger picture, heading into a critical content window. I I guess I get it. How do you feel about this, bro?
I do. I guess I get it. I mean, we'd never see another Warner Brothers, max numbers. Because, I don't really know how you would. I'm sure, again, obviously on their end, I'm sure they could see that, but like, I don't know how you would really translate that to like just general viewership like you can cable. Um, and obviously the cable number, well, it was going down anyway, but obviously it went down a little even more, mainly because of, it being on Max and whatnot now, and the fucking 5.
Wait, hold on. You just stopped talking. I, I don't. It might be your tap your mic. Yeah, I think it's your mic because I.
Good lord.
Oh, there you are. Okay, you're back.
Yeah, good lord. Fucking A, man. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, no, I lost my train of thought. God damn it. Okay. So, I mean, it makes sense and it doesn't, man. I mean, there is like the max numbers and then the other streaming services, the fucking 5 others are on, of numbers we don't get that obviously are subtracted from what used to be cable and whatnot. And in anything, any service is always nice to have a constant of something always being new and live. And that's a nice thing that these, networks like about wrestling. It's always live and it's always new. Every week you get something that is new, that is live, and that's not something you always have. And these services do like that. It is always nice to have. So I'm sure it is nice no matter what for Max and Warner Brothers to have. I mean, I'm sure it could always be doing better. Definitely can always be doing better. But I'm sure it's still nice to have, and I'm sure they're just fine with having what they got, man. I know I always hear stuff about how Warner Brothers is like so bad and bankruptcy and dead, and they make no money from like any movie they make and whatnot. So I'm sure having a constant like AEW is nice for them no matter what.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, this is a very company answer because well, first of all, you can't tell me Warner Brothers wasn't upset with them at one point because
Mhm.
obviously there's a reason why AEW Rampage does not exist anymore. And it's because they know, and I honestly think the reason Tony Khan started putting semi interesting stuff on Collision is because I honestly think in some ways he at least thinks or they are on his ass about that. Um, however, However, it's a very company answer. And, for no matter how bad the product is, wrestling is in general a very good thing to have on your network. I mean, you think about it
Mhm.
on a weekly basis, in AEW's case, twice a week. You have live broadcasts on your network that are there episodically every single week, and it's new content every single week. So 9 times out of 10, man, wrestling is always going to be a good thing to have on your it's always going to be a good thing to have on your network, right? It's always going to be a good thing to have on your network. So I could see Warner Brothers being happy about that. But you know, at the same time, man, it does make you wish that, you know, maybe somebody in Warner Brothers had their finger on the pulse to maybe, like, I don't know, maybe get in Tony Khan's ear so he has maybe somebody that he would somewhat remotely listen to, because you know, a lot of the product that passes through there is bad, but you know they don't look at it like that. That's why I said it makes sense, because it does. It makes sense that they would say, you know, that they don't mind. It's because they don't mind. They just want live content. People are going to be tweeting about the show that's on their network. People are going to be, you know, AEW constantly promotes TBS or TNT or Warner Bros. You know, they're always plugging their movies, and it is good promotion for them. And at the end of the day, man, you know, they don't really care as much as you may think they would. So yeah, I mean, it does make sense. It does make sense. So I mean, it's good. It's good that they're on good terms, because they are not like Fox, because Fox, which I believe is a part of NBC, plays a completely different game. Fox plays a completely different game. If you look at what they did with SmackDown, SmackDown was not good. They axed SmackDown, okay? SmackDown was better as they moved over a couple years into 2022, 2023, 2024, or whatever. SmackDown was a little better, but dude, those original 3 years on SmackDown, dude, pre Triple H SmackDown in 2022, holy shit.
The most pointless show. You think SmackDown's pointless now? It's nothing compared to how pointless it used to be.
Oh my god. It was bad. I mean, it was bad. But that brings me to our next topic. So, talks for AEW Shockwave on Fox fell through after months of silence. So, fans have been waiting to see if AEW would launch a new show called AEW Shockwave on Fox. However, there had not been any update about the show for months, and now it appears that the deal has fallen through. While speaking on The Hump, Sean Ross Sapp was asked about the status of AEW Shockwave and whether it was still happening after months of silence. He explained that it was only a pitch and a theory rather than a concrete plan. While the idea was brought up, no deal was ever reached, and it ultimately fell through. AEW previously filed a trademark for AEW Shockwave, and Swerve Strickland hinted at possibly having a presence on Fox. There was simply no indication the show was ever going to see the light of day. How do you feel about this? Why do you think this ultimately fell through?
I mean, from the beginning, we said it wasn't going to work out, dude. The pitch was that it was Rampage, but with a different name. After the Rampage just got canceled, they're
Yes.
going to say, oh, we're going to pitch you this. It's exactly like this, the show that just got canceled, but with a different name. Of course, dude, if they weren't happy with the SmackDown numbers, why would they be happy with, what at the end of the day would have just been Rampage numbers? That is just an insane play, and I feel bad for guys like Swerve, because they had that man going out there and saying, "You're gonna see us on Fox. You're gonna see AEW on Fox," and then never fucking happened, dude. Made him look like a fucking ass, because Tony Khan was so confident. It didn't work out, man. I mean, not really a shock, dude. You pitch a show that just got canceled rebranded and renamed, or really just renamed to a bigger network. Obviously, it's not going to work out, man. They didn't want WWE. Why would they want Rampage, man? I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. I didn't want it anyway. I'm glad it didn't work out. They do not need another show. They need to fix the current second show. They need to fix the first one too, but they really need to fix the second show they have before even thinking about another third show, man. Um, I'm glad it fell through, and I'm not surprised it fell through. I don't know what I didn't know. I can't believe they actually thought that Shockwave would be a hit with executives, that they would have loved it. Very obviously to me it would have worked out, and Fox saw the same thing, man, and they didn't go with it, which I completely understand from them. So no Shockwave. I'm not shocked that we're not getting Shockwave, and at the end of the day, I'm glad they don't need another third show. Rampage got canceled for a reason. Dark got canceled for a reason. At this point, I'm waiting for Collision to get canceled for a reason. Tony Khan has not been good with other shows that aren't Dynamite, man. So I'm not very shocked that Shockwave didn't work out, man. But what about you, man? Are you shocked that they didn't go with Shockwave? And would you have liked to see Shockwave? And why didn't they go with Shockwave?
Yeah, they did not go with Shockwave because they were not getting Shockwave. They were getting AEW Rampage with a
Mm-hmm.
fresh coat of paint. It's like having a black wall and trying to paint white over it with one coat. It's not going to cover it up. It's not going to hide the flaws. It's not going to make the fucking old color go away with one coat. If you want to make that wall a different color, it's going to need so many coats of paint, you might as fucking well just completely start over. So they were not getting a new show. Like you said, they were getting AEW Rampage, and it was pitched as a 1 hour show on Fox, and basically you were going to finesse Fox out of some money to give them Commander versus the Infantry on fucking on Shockwave every week. Now, if you wanted Shockwave to work, you would have canceled Rampage and you would have canceled Collision, and you would have had Shockwave be a 2 hour show on a different day of the week, a Friday, a Thursday, something like that. That would have worked. Something like that would have worked, and you split your rosters, you put big names over there like a Swerve, or like somebody, again, just somebody with, yes, big names. You put big names over there. You got a lot of them. You
Mm-hmm.
got enough fucking great talent to go around for 6 different wrestling promotions. That is, for me, and my philosophy on thinking about it, that is how Shockwave would have worked. It needed to be different. It needed to be, unique. You were trying to sell them AEW Rampage, which by that point we already knew was a show that was getting fucking canned, and they didn't pick it up. And you should have no doubt in your mind why they did not pick that show up. Because, again, you're trying to sell them garbage. You're trying to sell them your fucking dump. You're trying to sell them your waste. You're trying to sell them this dumpster fire of a show that just got canceled. So, I mean,
Tony Khan got balls, man. He's got balls. I'll give him that.
my God. Yes, he does have balls in a room full of executives. He does have balls in a room full of executives. He does not have
How about a
balls
guy
when
to his face?
I was gonna say, when somebody's lunging at him, the balls
Oh,
immediately tuck back away. But yeah, I mean, the only way Shockwave was gonna work is if you made it a second show that was actually gonna be a thing and not a novelty prize for all the for all the guys that can't fucking make it on Dynamite or Collision, you know. So
exactly.
I mean, I would legitimately laugh every week when they would be doing the Rampage rundown, because it was the most like, who is watching that? Like, who is saying, "Oh fuck,
Oh,
dude, I gotta watch." Hechicero versus Charlie Bravo of the infantry. Like who the oh shit, man, I gotta watch John Morrison versus Sean Dean on Friday. Who the fuck who is tuning in for this?
I gotta watch fucking Tony Nese. Fucking in a
Like what?
you gotta like the premier athletes, whatever their name is, in a tag match versus fucking no two other nobodies. It's like, dude, who is watching that?
Believe it or not, there are people out there that
There are
actually
people.
say like, "Oh shit, that's gonna slap."
Glad I'm not one of those people, man. I'll tell you that right now. And there's nothing else I'll say to that except I'm glad I'm not like that. They not
Yeah,
like us, bro.
no, not at all. However, yes, so that is, in my opinion, why Shockwave did not work and why Shockwave was never going to work, because they were trying to pawn off a broken down, stepped on, stolen 6 different times and given to the pawn shop iPhone.
Yeah.
No, not Sean Bean, Bell. Captain Sean Dean. You know the guy in the infantry.
Captain.
The
You
captain.
The captain.
In a member of the most feared faction in AEW today, the infantry.
I mean the infantry. Fucking show up.
Oh my god, the ops.
The ops.
Okay. I don't know why all the AEW stories are negative today, but we have another one, dude. Brian Cage is injured. AEW, I legitimately don't think they have one positive. I mean, they let Mariah go. I guess that's positive. Yeah. Oh, they're signing Mina Shirakawa. All right, 2. There's 2 positive AEW stories, but good lord.
Saraya one I could say was a negative, I guess.
Yeah. That one and the Mina one, definitely for sure. Exactly. Positive, I guess, for enough for AEW. Well, Brian Cage is reportedly out of action.
Oh.
With
sorry. My emotions got the best of me. I'm sorry.
With a knee injury, the All Elite Wrestling star. Come on, bro. You gotta let me get
I'm sorry.
I can't get through this fucking story if you're fucking making me laugh, bro. Okay. The All Elite Wrestling star is allegedly missing recent indie dates because of it. On AEW TV, Brian Cage and tag partner Lance Archer were being set up for a tag team title clash with the champions, the Hurt Business. That's hilarious. But on the March 26th episode of Dynamite, the plan seemed to pivot to the Learning Tree duo of Keith and Bill, appearing to step up to the duo of Lashley and Benjamin. During the Wrestling Observer, Dave Meltzer suggests that Cage picked up an injury at a recent independent show. He picked up an injury. I had gotten Thursday night, I got an email from someone who I don't know with
Come on, bro. Dude, just man, this fucking throwaway email just gave me some news. Dude, I could go do that right now.
Give me Dave's email, bro. I'm sending him fake news right now. Okay. I got an email from someone who I don't know with a photo of Brian Cage holding his knee. And he said he's wrestling Chris Masters. I don't even know the city. I don't know that this is true. So I probably shouldn't be saying it. But he did miss the Chris Bay show. He was supposed to wrestle Rich Swann, and Archer and Cage were, I believe, slotted for the pay-per-view Dynasty against the Hurt Business. And now all of a sudden it's Big Bill and Brian Keith, said Meltzer.
Holy dude. At that point, dude, don't even give us the
What?
details of how you got that story, bro.
What?
Please.
Okay, so they sent you a picture and he was holding his knee, and you don't know if it's true, so you shouldn't be saying it. But then you said he picked up in it.
Dude, I could go to a live event, take a picture of CM Punk selling a fucking move after a match, text it to Dave, and be like, dude, fuck, I think Punk's injured.
I was
It's like, I am assuming he is injured in some capacity because they did switch
for
the
sure.
plans, but like,
It's the way he says it, dude. It's just like you
I
make
believe
you make yourself sound so like you're fucking. You might as well just tell people don't believe me on anything I say, because he makes everything sound so fucking unbelievable. It's just like, what? Like what? What are you reporting exactly?
He
What?
could have literally just said, I got a source that, Brian Cage may be injured. He's off TV, so there could be something to this. That simple. Dude, the details you gave us make me not believe you.
Fuck
How do
it,
more
dude.
details about a story make me not believe it, dog?
This motherfucker, Dave, bro, he is on a generational run right now. 2025 Dave Meltzer. We're going to have a lot of fun this year, dude. We're going to have a lot of fucking fun this year. I mean,
Male superstar of the year, dude. Dead ass, bro. Put him in top 10, because fucking A.
we may have to do journalist of the year, bro. And it is and
It's
all
Dave.
8 nominees are going to be Dave, because
Because
there's just no way.
oh,
I got an email from someone who I don't know.
who I don't know.
What?
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't know them? Oh, man.
So who is emailing you, Dave? The fucking Riddler? He like when do you remember in Batman when fucking Riddler was just emailing? He put the flash drive and it had dude on video of him cheating on his wife outside of the fucking outside of the iceberg lounge. I mean, who's emailing Dave Meltzer this, bro? What?
He's being secretive too, like it's some crazy dude. It's a Brian Cage indie injury. First of all, this is another reason why you don't let guys do that much indies. But besides that, you're acting like you just got to email the fucking of the craziest court case ever of Shane McMahon talking with fucking John Moxley or some shit.
Oh man.
Literally, dude. It's like, what are you doing over here?
I went out to my car and there was a knife in the tire, and then when I got in the car I found the thumb drive. And Dave, are you Batman, bro? Did you find the thumb drive the fucking same way Batman did when they found out about the mayor cheating on his wife, bro? I mean, who's emailing you this, bro? Is it Edward Nigma, bro? Like what?
I guess it is, bruh. Holy shit.
Like
He's got the fucking Riddler.
I think it might be the Riddler. Dude, Dave is the man.
He really is, dude.
He's got the fucking Riddler emailing him photos of Brian Cage holding his knees now. Well, back to what you said though. It is very true. If these guys are gonna wrestle indies, it needs to be like the Chris Bay show. Benefit for Bay or Benefit for Bay, whatever the show was called. Shows like that. Maybe.
And I get it if you're not doing anything on television, but they were about to be in a major world tag team program.
He was going
Why
to
are
be
you
on
letting
pay-per-view.
like if they're not going to be on pay per view, okay, but they were gonna be. I don't get it.
Oh, Dave, good old Dave, bro. Hilarious work. So sucks for Brian Cage. I wish him a speedy recovery, and it sucks all the years Tony Khan did not use him. Now they're being used somewhat, and one of them gets hurt. That sucks, man.
It really does suck.
So no more lies for Dave, I guess.
All the lies probably with Dave, but I think it's quite the opposite with Dave. Just lies.
So there is yeah, that is okay. Yeah, never mind. That is everything for AEW. Okay, well, that is all we have for AEW today, as we have an official word from our sponsor of the Notorious Hills podcast, W Energy. W Energy is a clean energy drink formula loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without the jitters. They are sugar-free, 0-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W Energy products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase. As always, the official sponsor of what we do here at NHP. Thank you as always, W Energy.
Really, always got to shout out W, man. Whether you got to stay up for work out, reading in the mind of Dave Meltzer and understanding that man's life and mentality, you're gonna need the energy, man. And W, it'll taste good. It won't have any jitters, and like I said, it's gonna taste good and wake you up all at the same time, man. So always, truly, shout out W.
Well, WWE, according to WrestleVotes, is interested in former TNA star Alex Hammerstone. They go on to say, I know there's interest with Alex Hammerstone. I don't know if he's looking for a WWE contract, if he's going to spend some time on the indies or whatnot, but I know there is interest from WWE in Alex Hammerstone. We did see him in NXT against Obafemi as a part of the open challenge that he was doing one week, as a part of the NXTNA collab, but there has been a lot of eyebrows raised when it comes to AEW because MJF did a promo, and I guess he quote tweeted it saying like, when MJF was talking about, wanting to be in the business of hurting people think, he's gonna, reform some tag team with somebody, and MJF is gonna be the leader, and they're gonna go up against the Hurt Syndicate or whatever. So there is interest for Alex Hammerstone, and where do you see him going, bro?
It could be anywhere. I could see them, try. It's very well. I'm very interested to talk about it, on Monday with what happened with MJF and Herd Syndicate, or according to some of the Hurt business. um, Good Lord, but it's very interesting to see the direction they're going with that. So very well, he could go to AEW. I definitely could see him making his way. I think it's a 50-50. It's whoever wants him, wherever he wants to go. I really don't see a guaranteed route for him with either or company, so it could go either way, man. And it's interesting. I never really watched his work, so I really couldn't say if I'm excited or not. Only thing I can really remember him for, for me, in my experiences, is obviously the very infamous, or great Jacob Fatu promo, the
Yeah.
classic Godzilla versus King Kong, man. But other than that, I'd never really seen his work myself, so can't really say if I'm excited or not. It's just wherever we see him and however I see him, I'll form my opinion then. But either way, I could definitely see it being very 50-50, man. But what about you?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with his work. I'm excited to see what he can do whenever we do see him. Whenever we do see him on a large platform, whether it's AEW or WWE. Um, Honestly, just off the tweet, I'm kind of feeling he's gonna end up in AEW. Um, just because of the tweet and stuff. I honestly think that, and I seen Fightful put out a very uh Dave Meltzer like uh
Mm,
article about Alex Hammerstone, basically saying he could go to AEW, but he could end up in WWE. Like that
thanks.
that's not
Thanks. That's bull.
like that's that's not a fucking report, dude. That's you bullshitting with your friend. Well, I think he might go there, but he could go here. To like what? Like what? What? Like
Like,
you're you're just discussing topics. That's what we do. That like, you guys are supposed to be the reporters. We're
this
the
is
ones that are here to talk about the shit. We're the ones here to bullshit about the topics. You guys are like, what?
people pay for an answer, or at least something that could point to an answer. It's literally like you said, just he could go here, but he could go there too, man. John Cena could win, or he could lose at
Yeah.
WrestleMania. You never
No
know.
shit. Like what? What?
Oh man,
Yeah,
dude.
so I can kind of see him going to AEW at this point, man. It all just depends on how strongly WWE wants him or not. So we'll see. And whenever and wherever we do see him, I'm interested because I do hear a lot of good things about him. So hopefully he
Hmm.
lives up to it.
I hope so. I hope so. Like you said, I do hear a lot of good things, so I hope he does live up to that.
For sure, man. Very interesting story here next. It's about Vince McMahon. So let's see. According to Sean Sapp of Fightful, he has heard Vince will occasionally tune in to WWE television. After being asked about Vince McMahon's feelings on the current WWE product, Sapp said, I've not heard his feelings about anything, but I have heard that occasionally he'll watch and stuff like that. Sapp added that it does not serve that it does not serve anybody within WWE well to inform him that they have a relationship with Vince McMahon. He says, I want to say sincerely, there's no motivation for anybody in WWE to tell me that they have any type of relationship, connection, or conversation with Vince McMahon, whether it may be true or not. Within WWE, it doesn't serve anybody well. Good lord, to tell me, a reporter, that they have maintained any real relationship with that man because it just doesn't serve them well. So at least everybody that I talk to claims that they don't hear from Vince, talk to Vince, or anything like that. Nobody that I've heard from claims that they've talked to Vince.
Wait. So nobody he talks to Vince, yet he knows Vince watches the product occasionally? Is that what I just heard? I- Is that what he just said? I know I'm not tripping, bro. I swear to God, I'm not. 'Cause when you were given, obviously, the detail, though, Vince, he doesn't know his opinion, but I was thinking, like, dude, does he have his fucking grandkids on speed dial? Is he talking to the Clan McMahon? How does he know this?
What?
Like, how does
Okay,
that work?
so so you've heard occasionally he'll watch and stuff like that, but then you go on to say that everyone you talk to says they don't talk to him. So how the
How do you know? Yeah, man. I haven't talked to that guy in years, dude, but I still think he's watching. You know, he watches the show. Yeah, are you looking at NBC's fucking cable system and you could see his cable plan and you could see, oh man, I see his Netflix plan. I can see what he watches. Oh, he watched Raw this one week. Is that how you got the information? Dude, these wrestling journalists, man, they are something else, dude.
dude.
They are a
Oh, it
different
gets
breed.
better. It gets better, dude. We got some more stories, bro. We're not done. There's some other ones that are
There's some more, man.
real fucking knee slappers, dude. But regardless on how stupid this report was, when I seen this, it piqued my interest because I often sometimes think like I wonder what Vince would think of like today's product. Like when you think about like the way like Kevin Owens is booked, or when you look at like some of the new
Sami Zayn.
people, like Sammy, or like some of the new people, like I wonder what he thinks of like Braun Breaker and like all these guys. I wonder if there's anybody that he's looked at and been like, oh wow,
What
he's he's doing way better
I would have thought.
than I envisioned for him. I wonder if there is anybody like that. So despite how stupid this report is and how you basically in a roundabout way said you don't know if Vince McMahon watches the show or not, um, but it is
Every
it's interesting just because of the thought of him still
of
watching WWE for me.
Most definitely, man. Because I know Sami Zayn was just in an interview recently, and he said, you know, how Vince and that regime only saw him as a heel. Oh,
Whoa.
oh, hold on. Fuck Vince. What's going on? Ray Phoenix is. They said Ray Phoenix on the show. Hold on.
Yeah, they
Give
did.
me a minute. Holy shit.
Okay,
Ray Phoenix.
you talk about Vince. I'll pull this image up.
Okay. Um, what was I? It's very interesting because Sami Zayn was just on an interview saying how that regime only saw him and value in him as a heel and as a bad guy, and now you know he's one of the premier baby faces on the show. KO, like you mentioned, to me is one of the biggest examples of someone who Vince liked and then he didn't. At points, he was so random with KO, but like KO's a massive part of television right now, and you know, seeing his reaction, that would be very interesting. Or like Gunther, he was going to bury Gunther. So seeing, you know, Gunther being, you know, their top bad guy essentially after, you know, the final boss or sorry, the ex-final boss Roman Reigns is it was defeated. That you know Gunther's the big bad now is it's always very interesting, man, to see. Wonder what his opinion would be on the current product, and even guys coming in like Penta or Ray Phoenix. I really would think what he would think about a lot of these guys.
For sure. For sure, dude. So, oh
There's
wow.
also the Aleister Black fucking thing I've seen, which is very interesting.
Hmm. That's crazy work, dude. That's crazy. I did not expect that.
No, I would have bet money on him being just Phoenix.
I thought for sure he was gonna be just Phoenix.
I genuinely would have betted money on that shit because they got another luchador named Ray. They usually like avoid that type of shit at all cost.
Yeah, he will.
But
He will be in Chicago next week.
oh wow, oh yeah, I got the image here. I'll send it to you.
The Alistair Black.
Ray, do you got the Ray Phoenix one?
I got that one.
Yeah, let me send this. It's not images though. Here's some of it. Send direct message. One that isn't in the images I sent you is a picture of a snake that's exactly the same snake as the all snakes are fake shirt.
Oh yeah, I see it. Look at that.
And then there's images of obviously his look with like the rag hoodie over his head where it's a towel. And like that's obviously his gear.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, you
he's
could
looking.
most yeah, you could make this out. I'm watching the video now. You could make
Mm-hmm.
that out 1,000%, dude. Yeah. Oh wow.
Look at that, man. Ray Phoenix. Really surprised it's before Mania.
Me too.
Hmm. I'm
Okay.
very shocked. The sick ass fucking Ray Phoenix. They. Hmm.
I can't believe he's Ray Phoenix. That is
I,
that.
dude, I'm literally so shocked that he's Ray Phoenix still.
Okay.
I
I
it's
have
almost
almost
got ready to show you guys.
prepared my images for you guys. Here we are. Okay. All right. Good lord. Okay, so we have. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, so all right, now that we have Vince out of the way, so we have this we've seen earlier in the night for Aleister Black. As you can see here, these were two of the still images on his vignettes that are very evidently Aleister Black. There was also a snake in one of them, which if you guys don't know the tie-in with the snake, his AEW shirt, or his first AEW shirt, or one of his AEW logos, the All the Snakes Are Fakes shirt
Mm-hmm.
was a snake that was identical to the one in the vignette, but they also showed these little silhouettes that are more than likely Aleister Black. So
There's even a date in Roman numerals, which is the 25th of April. I think that's the SmackDown after Mania. Yep, SmackDown
yes.
after Mania. So yeah, it's confirmed. Basically,
Wow. Wow, dude. And with that, we got another image. We got another image here today on SmackDown, as SmackDown is currently live now. As you can see here, Ray Phoenix is Ray Phoenix. I thought for sure he was going to be just Phoenix. I could have swore they actually called him Ray Phoenix, dude. I'm shocked.
I'm very shocked. Like I said, dude, I would have literally betted money on him just being called Phoenix, which now to me they should have called Pentagon Jr. But other than that, I'm very happy he is Ray Phoenix, man. It's a very unexpected surprise.
Definitely, dude. So he will be, as you can see at the bottom right, he will be next week, next Friday in Chicago. Is Ray Phoenix, man. He will be. So the rumors were true about him starting with the company as soon as they got back from the European tour, man. And he's going to be in Chicago next Friday on SmackDown, man. So super pumped for Ray Phoenix, man. And he's going to do great. So those are the latest updates on your two newest signees for the SmackDown brand, as we do have 1, 2, 3, 4. We still have 4 more weeks for Aleister Black.
Mhm.
But Ray Phoenix will be April
Next week,
4th. He will be next week, bro.
excited.
Very excited. Very, very excited for that. As
Oh, he's gonna be the fucking SmackDown before Dynasty. Oh, those fuckers. They're
damn.
smart. I didn't think about that till now.
Yeah, that is crazy. I didn't think about that either. So, those are your latest updates on Ray Phoenix and Aleister Black. So, well, speaking of another guy coming from AEW, So thank you, Bill, of course, as always.
Thank you, Bill, for that warning.
Yes, thank you for the heads up. Okay, according to WrestleVotes, there is interest within WWE to bring back Miro to the company. One source said nothing is currently imminent, but the expectation is that a deal between both sides could be reached by the end of 2025.
Wrestling journalism, dude. Thank you for for the information. Of, parties are interested. Would have probably assumed that, but I
Uh,
digress. But
I read this, dude, and I said to myself, by the end of 2025, dude, we're in March. I could see if you're saying by the end of 2025 in October or November. Thank you for giving us the largest gap of story there ever was. Thank you
yeah,
for letting me know that if they want to bring him in, they're going to bring him in within the next 9 months.
within the year, at the start
Wait,
of the year, it may
what?
happen, dude. Thanks. Thank you for that information, man. Thank you.
I
Very
mean, look,
useful.
I totally, I totally thought that, if he was gonna sign, it would be in 2027. I
Yeah.
totally thought that. So, it looks like Miro is WWE is interested to bring him back, man, and I feel he's going to be interested to come back. Um, the only thing I wasn't sure of though is if WWE was interested, and now obviously we're getting the word that they are interested. So, it's going to
Yeah.
be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where he ultimately ends up, man. Whether it's going to be Raw or SmackDown, probably SmackDown, but either way, well, I mean, we'll never know the lay of the land by the time he does come in, being that it could be between now and the end of the year. But whatever the lay of the land is, I'm sure they're gonna put him on the show that fits best for him, and hopefully he could do some cool stuff, man. I mean, he's gonna be, he'll be on the roster with a lot of guys that are similar to him. I mean, if you look at a guy like Jeff Cobb, if you look at a guy like Bronson Reed, Miro, they all have
Mhm.
very similar, I guess characters in terms of just
Yeah.
these big destroyers. And Miro is great. Miro is great. I don't know how much I want to see, the Rusev Day Happy Miro. I would like to see what WWE production can do with the Redeemer, because
Yeah.
AEW production for the Redeemer was actually pretty good, and that's
It
AEW
was.
production. So like, I can only imagine the kind of shit WWE would want to do with that character. I also don't want to. I also don't know if WWE is going to want to dabble into the whole religion thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That they might not. That's can be a
Yeah.
risky subject for like a big company
Yeah.
like WWE. So a lot of times I could see them opting out on that, but at least allude to it if you can do that type of character. Personally, go all out. I don't care. I'm not gonna trip about what
Yeah.
he believes or whatever. Go ahead. If you want to be the hand of God or whatever, the Redeemer was, I'm down. It was good television. So either way, I'm very excited within the next 9 fucking months the possibility of Miro coming in. And
Yeah.
I hope he does, dude. He's fucking great.
Definitely. So I'm interested to see what they do with him, man, and I really hope that he can actually get a good solid run in WWE good with a good push behind him, because he had a great run as a part of Rusev Day and his booking sucked. So imagine if his
Hmm.
booking was good, you know.
Literally, exactly.
So moving over here to well, we just talked a little bit about if Miro would end up on Raw or SmackDown. Well, speaking of SmackDown, there's a lot of chatter
Mm.
backstage around the SmackDown brand, as many in WWE believes SmackDown's quality is not up to par lately. Really?
No way.
While
You
speaking
couldn't
on,
tell?
yeah, no, not at all. I couldn't tell that is 3 hours of what
Oh,
the
fuck
hell.
all.
Yeah. While speaking on the hump, Sean Sapp was asked whether there would be any discussions in WWE about the decline in SmackDown's quality. He confirmed that many people brought it up as they feel the show has not been up to par lately. Sean Sapp acknowledged these concerns and agreeing with them, noting many in WWE are questioning why more talent isn't being utilized, especially given the show's 3-hour runtime. He says, yes, there has been. A lot of people have brought it up. I don't feel like it's been up they don't feel like it's been up to par as of late. I certainly understand it and agree with it. There are a lot of people wondering why more talent isn't being used. It's 3 hours. This comes after
It's
Road
true.
Dogg was named as co-head writer of Friday Night SmackDown.
Well, I gotta tell AJ. I mean, thanks for thank you AJ for trying to get me to have faith, but he failed you AJ because holy shit, goddamn.
Man, you have a ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous, sorry ass show you are running every Friday night with Friday Night SmackDown, and there's no excuse. There's honestly no excuse. You guys have such a good roster, and I don't even really want to hear the 3-hour excuse because Monday Night Raw was really good at 3 hours while Triple H was running it. Now, again, was every week a banger and, could absolutely stand the test of 3 hours? No. But
Hmm,
there was
that's how it
also a
goes.
lot of weeks where the show felt like an hour and a half because you were having so much fucking fun watching the show. And it was great
Hmm.
Raw. It was a great Raw, and it was at a 3-hour time slot. You cannot tell me with Roman Reigns, now CM Punk, now Seth Rollins, Jacob Fatu, LA Knight. You have something of a tag division that you should be doing a lot better with, and you're not. You, on paper, you absolutely have all the tools for success, and nothing is good. Nothing on that show is good that doesn't include Roman Reigns or Jacob Fatu. And Roman Reigns stuff as of late, at least the segment last week, wasn't all too interesting. But that's not to say he's not an interesting part of the show because he is the
Yeah.
show, quite literally. But Roman is not there every week, so that is why you constantly hear me and Sir K calling
Jacob Fatu
SmackDown
show.
the Jacob Fatu show because that's quite literally all there is to acknowledge or be excited about when it comes to SmackDown. So there's no excuse. And we're in the Mania build. We are building to
Like,
WrestleMania off of this brand.
and we aren't getting anything. The world champion of that show isn't on that show. He's on the other show for some reason. Um, they're not the women's match they're building to on that show is very generic, and it's just Charlotte being Charlotte. You're not building to any, very interesting tag stuff. It's nothing. The mid card division doesn't get any love. Andrade still missing. Eh, like, what's going on? No clue that the quality of SmackDown has gone down. You're not doing anything with the 3 hours you have.
Yeah, nothing at all, dude. Nothing at all. And it is again, it is sad to see because you look at that roster and there is no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse for it to be as bad as it is. Um
No.
so And again, I know the 3 hour time slot does not help it, but dude, SmackDown was bad at 2 hours. That's not 3 hours is not the problem. As much as it is, it isn't, because
Exactly.
it again, the show at 3 hours for Monday Night Raw, it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
You had a deep roster, you know what I mean, and all this other stuff. You had interesting stuff on the show with Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk, and Seth Rollins was in the mix, and all this other stuff. There's no excuse for SmackDown, dude. There's absolutely no excuse other than you being lazy, and that is crazy, crazy work to say, because you are on the build to WrestleMania and doing
Hmm.
nothing. Absolutely
Nothing.
nothing. So, yeah, I mean, I don't understand, man. I don't understand. But yeah, like I said, there's no excuse. And again, because the show, when it moves back to 2 hours, probably, unless they make some major changes on the way they book these shows and who they put on these shows, the show is going to be doomed at 2 hours as well. It's just
Hmm.
a bad show with a bunch of people nobody cares about. They basically throw half of their misfits on the show, or the people that they don't really care to do anything with, other than Cody Rhodes or Jacob Fatu. You know what I mean? I mean, they threw Drew McIntyre over there. They don't know what to do with him. They don't know what to do with Damian Priest. They throw him over there. They don't know what to do with Nakamura, so they throw him over there. Carmelo and Andrade, those guys are thrown over there to do nothing. It's the show. It's basically like WWE's recycling bin. Go to
It
SmackDown,
is.
and when you're going to be in something big enough where we have something to do with you, and we'll put you over back on Monday Night Raw, and we'll have you do some cool stuff over there. But that's basically what SmackDown is, dude. It's very fitting, because 9 times out of 10, the recycling bin is blue. And
Hmm.
it makes all the sense in the world, because SmackDown is blue. So it goes hand in hand with that being quite literally WWE's recycling bin of a show.
It is. It is. They show no love to it, and they always have, and they got to change something, man, because it's just gonna keep continuing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it absolutely is. So yeah. So we brought to you guys a couple weeks ago that WWE is bringing back Evolution.
Hmm.
Now, I guess we have a bit more insight on when that could be announced. So, per WrestleVotes on the Backstage Pass, WWE is bringing back the Evolution pay-per-view. The event is set to take place early summer of this year. We've kind of heard around July is the last thing I remember hearing about it. But an announcement regarding the event is expected to happen prior to WrestleMania, most likely early April.
Well,
So one of these next 2 or 3 weeks, I guarantee you, we will be hearing about the return of Evolution, or Evolution 2, whatever they're going to
yeah.
call it. Yeah, I mean, they definitely have the roster to do it if you look at Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And I think this will be something enjoyable, and hopefully something that WWE can do to. Hopefully, something WWE can do to help, just build some steam around the women's division again.
Most definitely. Hopefully this can, let things breathe and build multiple storylines to a show. And I'm down, and I hope they do Evolution very well this year, because they have the tools to make it incredible. And I hope they deliver on that.
For sure. For sure. So, yeah, I know a lot of people wanted it for a very long time, and now you guys are getting it again. And, excuse me. And, WWE hopefully is going to make the most out of the show and do uh, big things on it. And hopefully, this is the reason they've been seemingly holding off on a ridiculous amount of stuff that probably should have been taking place at WrestleMania. Um,
Hmm.
so, yeah. from one pay-per-view to another. This one will be taking place WrestleMania weekend, as according to WrestleVotes, WWE has changed the start time of NXT Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend. The show will now start at 9:30 a.m. local time. So 9:30 a.m. in Las Vegas. Vegas is, let's see.
I think it's behind.
I was gonna say Vegas is Pacific time, right?
I think so.
Pretty
I
sure.
think for us, that's gonna be what, like 12 or something, like 12
They're
or 1.
they're 2 hours behind us, so I guess Central
Okay.
Time it'll be 11:30 a.m. Which normally, I honestly think they might have only pushed that back like an hour, because
Yeah.
I at least from what I remember, I remember those
Like
takeover
11.
shows coming on at like 12 or 1 our time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember those coming on at like 12 or 1 our time. So it is interesting to see. But God bless any of you people that are going to night 1 of WrestleMania, probably Superstore before WrestleMania, and then Stand and Deliver, because you will probably be up. I mean, what time would the doors even open in the arena, bro? 7:30? I mean, holy shit,
7.
man. I mean, you're getting up at 6 a.m. and you're up until, I mean, hey, get your W energy, bro. If you guys are going down to Vegas if you guys are going down to Vegas and going to all these shows for WrestleMania, man, use code NHP. Get yourself some W, because from the sounds of this, you guys are going to need it. You guys probably have to get up at about 6 a.m., maybe about 5, depending on how long you take to get ready. If doors open at 7 or 8 for the show, for the Stand and Deliver event, you got that. And then you got to stay awake all through WrestleMania, which Las Vegas time probably ends about 9, 10 o'clock. You might want to go eat after, go to the bar, whatever. Probably ain't getting back to that hotel till midnight, 1 o'clock. I mean, at that point, you've been awake for what, 19, 20 hours? Fuck.
Doing shit. And that's not just awake just chilling at home. That's awake doing just 2
Walking
pay-per-views,
around.
dude.
Yep. Screaming,
Mm-hmm.
yelling at the shows. Yep.
Fuck that. That is exhausting.
Whew. God bless you guys, bro. God bless you guys. NXT, I was telling Sir K this yesterday, man. NXT is not, it's not 2.0. It's better than that. I don't know if it's worth 9 a.m. though. I don't know if it's worth 9 a.m.
I don't know about that.
I think I might save my energy for WrestleMania, personally.
I think I might. I would too.
I would I would love the grind of the whole thing, but that's not to say I would need some somnolence at the end of the night. So yeah. I don't know, man. Crazy. You guys are fucking crazy though. If you guys are going to Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania and all the festivities around that, plus, like I said, maybe you get breakfast, fucking dinner, bar hopping, whatever you do during WrestleMania weekend, you are in for some long fucking nights, dude. But so God bless you guys, man, for real.
Most definitely.
Okay. Well, moving over to some news actually about. Okay, so last week we brought to you guys the image of the Dublin, Lyon, and the Birmingham Monday Night Raws and SmackDowns. And obviously that was a Road to Clash in Paris event that they, or the Road to Clash in Paris schedule that they posted. Well, I actually put this together for you guys. Okay. Okay, I put this together for you guys because, again, we already knew about the Dublin, the Lyon, and the Birmingham Monday Night Raw and the 2 Friday Night SmackDowns. I showed them to you guys last week on the Road to Clash in Paris image. But there is actually another show that was not mentioned. It was slightly mentioned Monday on Raw, but Clash in Paris is going to be, I believe, that Sunday or that Saturday before. It is going to be, yes, okay, so Clash in Paris is going to be Sunday, August 31st, and again, we already knew about the top 3, but there actually is another Monday Night Raw that is the night after from the same arena, the Paris La Défense Arena, and we will be getting another International Monday Night Raw. So it's not just one, it's 2 International Raws and 2 International SmackDowns, as, you know, I separated them here on this image for you guys, man. So, yeah. So, again, they did not put this in the image. I would think you would want to let people know there's going to be a Raw in Paris the night after Clash in Paris. So, beats me, but
think?
yeah, you would really think. But these are your 2. So obviously, I'm assuming that there is going to be 2. Well, I'm not assuming. There is going to be. This will probably be the next time we'll do some more early unscripteds. But we do have a Raw September 1st coming up in Paris, man. So it should be a fun time. And you know how I feel about France, bro. France. If it's anything like the first time they went to France, we are in for a very fun, actually a fun SmackDown in Lyon, France, and then a fun Monday Night Raw, I'm sure, in Paris. So here's your updated with the extra Monday Night Raw here. So this is your updated image for your 2 International SmackDowns and your 2 International Monday Night Raws coming up in August and September.
Most definitely, man. Very exciting. Love those shows. And I love, the Monday different start times like we got here this week and one last one next week. And I'm excited, dude. I love the European shows, and I'm glad we're getting more of them, dude.
100%, bro. 100%. So, jumping back over to WrestleMania, man, as we wind down here. Okay. Here we are. All right. According to Ryan Lynch of the Orlando Business Journal, the Greater Orlando Sports Commission has submitted a request for an $18 million grant from the Tourist Development Tax Sports Incentive Committee. Lord. If approved, this funding would be used for a bid on 4 major events under the TKO Group Holdings umbrella, which oversees both WWE and UFC. The city outlined its goals for hosting the following events in 2026. Orlando hopes to secure either WWE Survivor Series in November or Saturday night's main event in December at the Kia Center. In 2027, the city aims to bring in a UFC pay-per-view event to the Kia Center in August or September. For 2028, Orlando is bidding to host the WWE Royal Rumble at Camping World Stadium in February. The biggest target is 2031, when Orlando hopes to bring WrestleMania back to Camping World Stadium in mid to late April, with the Kia Center hosting additional WrestleMania week events. The WrestleMania event itself would span 2 nights, along with Raw and SmackDown arena shows throughout the week. How do you feel about... Okay, so they're shooting for a lot here. Okay, they want something in 2026, 2027, they want something from the UFC, 2028, they want the Royal Rumble, 2031, they want pretty much all WrestleMania everything, similar to how they did in 2017 for WrestleMania 33. How would you feel? How would you feel about a Royal Rumble taking place at Camping World Stadium, which is the same stadium they did WrestleMania 33 in? How would you feel about another WrestleMania from that very same venue?
Oh, what fucking mania would that even be? I'm trying to do the math in my
So,
head, but I'm not good at math. So
um,
2025 is 42.
41.
41. God damn it, I already fucking up. Okay.
So 20. So 26 is 42, 27 43, 28 44, 29 45, 20 30 46. So that would be WrestleMania 47.
Holy shit. Okay. I think that would be enough time for pass, between 33 and fucking 47. Um,
Oh yeah.
I would be down that WrestleMania 33 will be until it gets beaten, and it hasn't yet for me. My favorite WrestleMania stage, the height of that stage
Dude.
alone that's the most important part of a WrestleMania stage to me. It's not even, what's around it, all that, it's the height. The height is what makes it grand, and holy shit, it was literally at like the top of the arena, dude.
Yep.
Insane, dude. Loved it. So I would love for them to go there again. And they're very ambitious with this plan. If I was WWE, I would make this plan because it's guaranteed money you're gonna make for Orlando. I get it. They want to make this. You don't know how hot they're gonna be or how hot they won't be compared to now by the time that comes. Not saying, everything they have, all the momentum they have is gonna crash and burn. There's going to be fluctuations, man. I mean, look at it right now. I would say it's kind of in not a down period, but definitely a low period comparing to what it was a few months ago with the level of momentum that the general product has. So there's always going to be ups and downs in anything. So that's the risky part of Orlando doing this is you have no clue what their momentum may be at that time. That could be a low period. That could be a very high period. And I guess it's a gamble, but obviously no matter what, they're gonna get people to go to the show. It's WrestleMania, but you know, there's 18 million for all these shows. I mean, if I was WWE, I'd take that deal. 2026, they want was it 2026? I think it was. They want Survivor Series and a Saturday Night's main event. Next year they want a UFC show. Next year they want Rumble, which that's exciting to me. I would be down for a Rumble there. Um, I would feel bad for all the entrants in the Royal Rumble that got to go down a big. I wouldn't do a WrestleMania height stage for that one, most definitely. But even then, imagining how Triple H does a show like the Rumble, with a very flat stage with the people all around it, an arena like that, that could be a very cool look as well, as it's not as tall as Mania, but you're just surrounded by people, from fucking like 10 fucking rows up.
Mhm.
That could be a very cool visual. So no matter what, I like this deal. I'm excited for the arena and the shows, and I hope it goes through, man. WrestleMania 33 will be my favorite stage until it gets beat, man. And if they could replicate that height again in WrestleMania 47, and just being there in these other shows, I would definitely like it, man. But what about you? What do you think about this? Do you think it's a smart move, and would you like to see this?
I think this is a smart move because for me, WWE could be hot. They might not be as hot as they are right now,
Mm-hmm.
but either way, it is WrestleMania. And even when the product was shit, under Vince, everybody wanted a WrestleMania. Every
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania it's like having a Super Bowl. It's never gonna matter who is playing in the Super Bowl. Okay, it's the Super Bowl. Like the cities the cities probably don't get the cities don't give a fuck and a half if the WrestleMania is good or if the WrestleMania sucks. All they're thinking about is the economic health during the WrestleMania season. You know, people are going to be, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of tourists in your city for the span of, you know, the week or the weekend or the better part of all that. So it's obviously going to cause an economic rise for them. And it is smart. It is smart to get your finger on the pulse now before too many people jump on and then WWE tells you. And that's the other thing too with WrestleMania 31, with it being, with WrestleMania 2031, with that being so far away, it makes me think, does WWE know where they're going up until then? And that was the closest date that they can get. You know, did they hit up WWE and say, hey, we want to put in for WrestleMania? And WWE might say, well, we kind of have an idea on where we're going until 2030. So if you guys wanted to, you know, dabble in the 2031 puddle, then go right ahead. So that's another thing that's very interesting to see. As far as the arena is concerned, WrestleMania 33 at Camping World Stadium was absolutely incredible. It was a WrestleMania in Florida it was great because WrestleMania in California, I felt, was daytime a little too long, but Florida was that sweet spot of the show in the beginning was light outside. And I love that at WrestleMania. I love outdoor WrestleManias. That's why I was a little annoyed with them going back to New Orleans for WrestleMania 42, is because it's indoor. I love an outdoor WrestleMania, but I don't love an outdoor WrestleMania that's fucking daytime up until the main event, sunset, finally hits, and you're like, oh, okay. The show ends at night, but literally the whole 5-hour program was in daylight. It can ruin the aesthetic for certain people's entrances and stuff like that. But you know, Camping World Stadium, like I said, was it was the sweet spot, right? It was the sweet spot, man. It was the show about halfway through was daytime, and then you got like a beautiful sunset right in the middle of it, and then you were, you know, and then it was dark outside, you know, and you know, obviously, you can pull off the Undertaker's entrance now, being that there's no light and he's not walking out there in sunlight, but it's WWE is tasking themselves with a tall task, because if you go back to Camping World Stadium, there's no way you could do anything less than what you did the first time, because the closest we've seen come to that stage was 39. That was the closest we've seen. If we're not talking 39, the second closest we've came to that is maybe 34 with the Mardi Gras stage, but it's been challenging for WWE to come close to a stage that is anywhere remotely close to that WrestleMania 33 stage. So you are tasking yourselves with a very, very tall task. Will it probably come close to that? No. TKO is probably not going to give them anywhere near the budget. But could you just please have the entrance ramp start from the top of the stadium again? Please?
Dude, it was literally at the top of the stadium, and it was just pure that. Dude, it was incredible. I loved it. So, fucking make it a fucking Tron up there for all I care, dude. Just make it high.
Yes.
Please. I'm begging you.
Please, dude. Please. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. I do like the idea of a Royal Rumble happening there too. I think that actually would be pretty cool. I think that would be pretty cool for a Royal Rumble at Camping World Stadium too. I think that would be nice. But no, it's a beautiful stadium. It's a nice stadium. I've had a couple friends that went to that WrestleMania in 33, and you know, I've heard, relatively the same thing. It's a beautiful stadium, and obviously everybody raves about the stage. But no, I mean it's a good stadium, man, and I would like to see them go back there for another WrestleMania. So, and yeah,
Most definitely.
like I said, I don't really see it being too much of a stupid thing on Orlando, because again, WrestleMania is our Super Bowl, so it's never really ever gonna matter about how good the show is to these cities, because it's
It's
about
gonna be
the buzz for the city. So
exactly. And another thing I like about this is that it leaves the theme open. The thing annoying about our New Orleans is you're basically just locked into the Mardi Gras theme, which is dope,
yes,
but you already did it. But with going back to, a place like Orlando, you could do anything. It was a amusement park theme last time. They could do anything going back, and that's the exciting part.
yeah. As long as they don't give us no lame ass themes like WrestleMania 31, the theme was a fucking play button.
Ugh, so lame.
That's
So
the
fucking lame.
ugh. That was weak, bro. That was weak. WrestleMania 31. It like the stage was so short for that one too, dude. I was not a
It
fan.
was. Yeah,
And
it
that
was like
giant
flat
play
on
button
flat.
is it like ugh.
Ugh.
That was the one thing I hated about the 40 stage, was it was so low. Like, dude,
Ah,
raise that
well,
motherfucker up, bro.
the favor has been revealed on SmackDown tonight, and it's lame. Want to take a guess to what the favor is?
The favor is he's got to be in Punk's corner instead of Roman's.
No, no. It's very obvious of what it is.
The favor is he wants him to be his wise man again.
No, you're complete no.
The favor is it's for a world title shot. Uh
You would think.
oh god, tell me the favor, dude.
Oh, well, Mel wrote in the comments. It's closing the show at one of the WrestleMania nights. It's a main event.
What?
That was the favor to make it the man. I don't know how Paul Heyman has that pull, but he has the pull to make
Wrong
it a main event.
Paul. What?
Ah,
The
that
favor.
is not me.
I feel like there was so much story in him earning the main event, though.
That was the point of the story. Yeah, is him earning the main event, and he just gets it.
So
Why
you,
didn't he just do it to begin with then?
so you got the WrestleMania main event because you helped the Bloodline in War Games.
How
How
does Paul
how
Heyman
does
have that pull?
how does Paul Heyman have Paul Heyman is
He's not the booker. He just works with Roman Reigns. He,
yes, in
oh,
kayfabe he is literally just Roman Reigns' wise man or manager. What?
it's fucking lame as hell. I'm sorry. That is a waste of fucking 4 5 months of a tease for something that's, like you said, it negates the whole point of the main event story that Punk had. When he just get it in the first place then? Why did he fight for it if he could have just got it?
Yeah, that's really underwhelming. That's really underwhelming. I feel like there was story in him fighting for that main event spot, which again is why I was telling people he doesn't have to main event this year. He doesn't.
It makes
He
sense for
he
him to not
he
to.
just you have story in him fighting for that main event. You have story in that. I mean, there's why would you waste a favor on that? In my opinion, dude, I don't like that. I'm not a
No, I
fan
don't
of
like
that.
it at all. I think it's very weak and very uninspired, dude. It kills the main event story that CM Punk had going into WrestleMania to me.
Hmm. All right. Uh, yeah, that's really lame. Well, speaking of lame, WrestleMania 41. So we have masterful reporting from Fightful Select here. Get this, guys. WWE is reportedly planning Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania for the IC title.
No way.
I'm serious, dude. This is real as it
No
gets.
way.
I'm
How could they
serious.
have got this information, dude?
Um, I don't know. Maybe they watched the fucking show like any other like any else of us like anybody else did. They that man that wow. Is this what people pay for? Did, we just seen them do something like this with Mercedes and Athena. You see them teasing it on TV, and then Fightful comes out and they say they could be doing they could be doing a they could be doing a Mercedes and Athena match. It's like this. You see teasing with all four of them in the ring on Monday Night Raw, and they come out and say, I think they're planning a four-way. If you would have said this to me 2 weeks ago, and then I would have said, well, I don't see that happening yet, but then it comes into fruition. All right, then you dropped a little insider news on us. Okay, all right. Yeah. I get that.
Right.
You're going to wait until the day after the fucking show to tell us that's where they're going. No shit. I mean, really? I mean,
man, they named this new adventure Doomsday. You know what that got me thinking? I'm hearing word that Doctor Doom might be the villain of that movie. Then, yeah, you know, the insider knowledge.
You know, it's like that part in No Way Home when you know, Andrew Garfield is he's looking down at Jamie Foxx. He's looking down at Electro, and he says to him, man, you know, you saving all these people, you help poor people. I thought you were gonna be black. That's like somebody coming out and saying Marvel is thinking about doing Miles Morales. No shit. No like what? That's not. I didn't think about that at all when he said there must be a black Spider-Man out there somewhere. I didn't think at all. I didn't think at all that maybe there's gonna be a Miles Morales. Oh, I mean, come on, dude. I mean, what is even that? What is even that? Funny enough, Bell, I could actually see Dominic like pinning Finn Balor to win that, and then the next night I could see Finn Balor being pissed off as ever, and then they kick him out of the group. I could actually see that. So allow me to hit Bell with the all capital wrong.
Speaking of wrong, apparently I'm wrong. That isn't the favor, but they are still getting the main event. I guess that's still just not the favor. Apparently, I think the quote is, that's not the favor I want. That's not the favor I am owed. CM Punk to Paul Heyman. Okay, they're just going to drag it out even more. Good Lord.
I'll have to watch this segment, and we'll talk about it. I need to see how this comes off on...
Holy I'm confused. Shit, fucking dragging shit out. God damn, Triple H. Holy shit. Like I say, everything doesn't have to be a year long. God.
It certainly does. I at this point, I don't even know what the favor could be, but I'll tell you, the favor's okay. So the main event, okay. Well, that's good. That is good because if the main event was the favor, then that is awful. But I will say, if Punk, I don't know what the favor could be. I mean, he wants Paul Heyman to be his wise man as he goes on his quest for gold. He wants Paul Heyman to
maybe stay out the match so he can't help Roman in the match. Maybe like the favor was, if I ever face Roman, you can't help interfere to screw me or something like that, or you have to make sure there's no interference or something like that.
Look, man.
Maybe.
Please don't waste the favor. That's all I'm asking. And I'm happy I am happy that they did not. If the favor was that main event, that would have been a colossal mistake. That would have been a colossal fucking mistake because again, there is a rich story in CM Punk working for that main event because Lord knows he's worked for it. There is story in that, and for the favor to be him being handed a main event, pretty much. I mean, that is not, that is not that is not a good way to go about the favor at all. So I'm happy for that. I'm very happy that that is not the favor because
Most definitely.
that was just such a colossal waste. I mean, it could literally be anything else. And that would be more interesting than again him being handed the main event as a favor for helping in a War Games match. I mean,
Literally, man. So that's better, and that makes it a little more interesting, man. I hope they do well by it. I hope they do.
definitely.
He
So
said that, then the show faded to black. Fucking Triple H, man. Ugh.
we're leaving you on them
I mean,
cliffhangers, bro.
look at that. They made an interesting end to SmackDown. Didn't think you could do it.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel a little better because again, man, I was ready to eat that alive on Monday if that was the favor because just there's no way that's the favor for helping in a War Games match, but that's a little better. Save it, protect it until it's for something meaningful. That's my
Mhm.
philosophy behind that, but
Most definitely.
yeah, do not fucking throw that away. And again, you don't even have to throw it away at this WrestleMania season. Do not throw it away just for the sake of throwing it away. Save it until
Yeah,
it means something.
it's good, Bill. It's good. You weren't the only one that just told us, so
No,
it's,
no, you're fine.
it's good.
You're
And
fine.
it's just looking at the show before I mean, it was literally the last line of the episode, so good old Triple H, man.
Yeah, this is this is something we have to deal with going head to head with SmackDown. Is sometimes you don't get full context. But no, man, I'm just glad. I'm just glad that's not the favor because that
That would
was
have been
about to
bad.
piss me off, bro. I don't care. I don't care how long you got to save that favor, bro. As long as it's not something completely ass like that, because that's a big storyline right now. You don't throw something like that away, man. I'm sorry.
And if you're gonna save it for a while in the future, please stop bringing it up. Let us forget, and
Yes.
then let it happen. Stop having Punk go out there every other. I'm still owed my favor. It's just gonna make me think, oh, what is it then? You just stop talking about it, please.
Yes, you have to have it, you got to build it up to where the fans forget about it and you got to build it up to where, even Paul Heyman kind of forgot about the shit. So,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, Punk being fed a main event as the favor again. The story is Punk. The main event is his dream. You don't have that be a favor. I wouldn't even have
No,
them main event. I would
I
drag
wouldn't.
the main event out. I would drag Punk's main event out until next year. I would have him be the one to beat John Cena, walk into Mania next year against again maybe a guy like McIntyre, maybe you do a up and coming guy. I don't know who it is. You have him main event then in New Orleans, bro, because he was supposed to be at a certain WrestleMania in New Orleans, but he walked out of the company before he could do that. So there's story in that. Do it then. I don't know if you wait the favor till then, depending on what the favor is. You know, maybe, um, maybe Roman Reigns wants to join. Maybe Roman Reigns wants to, if John Cena walks away and they have to crown a new champion, maybe Roman Reigns enters that tournament. Maybe
He
CM
takes.
Punk, I was going to say, maybe CM Punk gets screwed out of his qualifying match because John Cena, maybe doesn't want to really see CM Punk, or maybe there's some strings being pulled behind the scenes for CM Punk to not be in that tournament. They put Roman Reigns in or something like that, and CM Punk takes his spot. Something like that, dude. Something better than whatever that was. So, because God, my heart just skipped a beat, bro, thinking about them wasting the favor on that. But yes, As long as it's meaningful, bro. Do not waste it.
Oh, please do not.
WrestleMania 41 is our last story. WrestleMania 41 is on track to being the lowest attended WrestleMania since WrestleMania 22. No, not WrestleMania 2022. WrestleMania 22. As night one for the show has sold 45,000 tickets, and night two has sold 47,000 tickets. Those are obviously great numbers, but when you look at when you're talking WrestleMania, those do about 80.
Exactly.
And you're doing about, I mean, this is good numbers right here for a SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's SummerSlam and Royal Rumble's numbers nowadays.
Yes, for a WrestleMania, look, man, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You want to market this as a Super Bowl? You're not as big as the NFL, bro. I'm sorry. You're hot. You're great right now. You're doing it. The fact that CM Punk is going to be at this year's WrestleMania, again, this is completely disregarding the build kind of lacking. You have heel John Cena going into this Mania. You have Cody at the show. You got Roman. You got Seth. You got Punk. You got Drew. You got Gunther. You got Jay. You got Rhea, Bianca, Io, Charlotte, Tiffany. You got all these big names at the show. And you can't sell. Why? Why can't you sell? It's not because the show is lacking in star quality. It's lacking in build. But again, for people that want to go to WrestleMania, I'm sorry, the build isn't really going to matter that much. People are more focused on, if you're going to the show, you're focused on who's going to be there. Because, every time we want to go to a WrestleMania, when we discuss WrestleMania, name me one time we've ever said, well, we'll wait and see if the build is good first, and then we'll go.
No,
it's never happened.
It's about people, location, and the big factor of why it's so low, price. You can't fucking
bingo
shoot the fucking price up tenfold and expect the same amount of people, dude. That's not how it works.
Yeah, just go ahead and sit in our nosebleeds and pay $900 a night. Pay damn near $2,000 to look at ants in the ring.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what people want, dude.
Yeah, I mean that is again, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Did you see their prices for these meet and greets?
Yeah, fucking Damian Priest and Tiffany Stratton are $500.
Why are they in a package together? What?
I
don't know. That was bad. I was looking at some of these packages and I'm like, here, I got it right here. It is Bianca Belair meet and greet for $300. Rey Mysterio and Charlotte Flair for $500. Braun Breaker and Liv Morgan for $500, and the one that makes sense in here, Jimmy and Jay for $600. That doesn't make sense, but the combo of the two makes sense. And the oddest one, Sir K just said it, Damian Priest. First of all, no, right there. I wouldn't pay $5 to meet Damian Priest. Damian Priest and Tiffany Stratton for $500. Why are they packaged together? Are you trying to drive people away? Again, you are not the Super Bowl, bro. You are. I'm sorry, dude. You're hot right now. You got big names at your show. You're not the Super Bowl. You're not the NFL. You're just not that. You are not that big, dude. And it's never going to work. And if you want, and I can't wait to see how hard they lie on these ticket prices or on these attendances. Because they're going to, dude. This should be huge, dude. These numbers should be huge with how hot this company is, and you're not.
Instead of hitting the highest attendance WrestleMania line, they're gonna get the most profitable
Oh,
WrestleMania of
you
all time.
are. This is the highest gate in WrestleMania company's stadium history. You already know that they won't brag about the attendance. They're gonna brag about the gate because that's what they do all the time. It's like when they went to Lyon. Oh, this is the highest gate in history. Well, no shit. When you fucking charge $1,500 for nosebleed for the standing room tickets. No shit, it's going to be the highest gate. And again, for as high as this company has been in terms of momentum around the company, you would think they would scratch 70,000 easily. You would think easily they would scratch 70,000. They haven't even got to 50.
That's crazy, dude.
And
That's
again,
crazy.
the three main factors when people talk about going to a Mania build, like Sir K just said, is location, the stars that are going to be there, and the most important one of them all is price.
If it's too expensive, people are gonna be like, "Man, I want to go, but I just can't do it," and they won't go.
I'm just gonna pay my $13.99 for Peacock Plus and enjoy my night.
Exactly. I'll pay the 40 for the pizza, and I'll pay the 13 for the Max. What the fuck for Peacock, and well, I'll move on my way, dude. Like, it's the price, dude. It's way too goddamn expensive.
Well, Bill, it seems that, well, apparently we do have one person that is interested in the Damian Priest and Tiffany Stratton, or as Bell says, Damian Priest.
Damian Priest.
And and Tiffany Stratton. So I guess.
Hello.
Oh, Bill. I tell you. So yeah, I mean, what can you say, bro? What can you say? Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So
most definitely, exactly. I don't know what they expected with these prices, man, but hey, enjoy your profits because your numbers ain't looking too good.
I can't wait for that media scrum, dude. You already know the first thing he's gonna say. This is the highest gate in WWE stadium history in North America. You already fucking know it.
Hey, dude, if they get around 45,000 seats and tickets a night, and at least a ticket is at least $1,000, one night made them $45 million. That, of course, they're gonna say that shit because, fucking WWE, man.
There you have it. So,
where's my cut, Triple H? God damn it.
That dude, man. I don't know, man.
Good.
Seriously, bro. Well, with all that, that is everything we have here today for you guys on this edition of the news. As again, we do have one last time for you guys. Raw is Bell on Monday because it will be taking place at the O2. So if you guys are there, just stop by, say hello to our great friend Bell. 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and 12 p.m. Pacific. And for your boys here, you guys can catch us at about 4:30, 5 p.m. Central Time for Unscripted, or whatever time Monday Night Raw ends. We will be live within the half an hour after the show goes off the air. So, with all of that, that is going to do it, like I said, for this edition of this edition of the news. This has been episode 259 of the Newsman. As thank you guys so very much for joining us. As always, thank you to everybody who came out. Fleck, Bell, my man Hunter, thank you guys so very much for joining us. And with all that, whether you guys are here now or part of the Replay Mafia, thank you guys. And as always, it has been a pleasure for my Johnny.
Nice, okay.
And that is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious podcast. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you guys at 4:30, 5 p.m. Central, after Monday Night Raw on Monday for NHP Unscripted.
Peace.